looks like we had some sound issues there. Sorry about that. So again, recap that real quick. You can still sign up here. Not quite sure from when it was gone. Let me just check here. I got some audio issues here. Test. Oh, you got this stream open here. Sorry, I'm confusing myself, guys, here. All right. So long story short, sign up if you haven't already. Claim your bonuses. We're going to get you 30 plus meetings on your calendar, guaranteed. If not, you get back your full investment. And either way, if we do decide to, you don't want to work with us yet, you could get access to one of my paid courses for free, some exclusive launch bonuses that I was teasing on last calls here. And of course, everything we're talking about today when it comes to mapping out how you can 10x your value, income, and sanity. You're going to get access to this mind map and all the linked resources, of course, as well. So if you haven't already, make sure to sign up. That's pushrec.com/beta. Thank you so much, Andromeda. Now the sound is working here. So yeah, make sure you guys sign up if you haven't already. It's free, of course. And then even if you do want to work with me, the investment is so low that I made it where everybody can get into this, and literally less than one client, and you're going to make back a full investment here. I just need to make sure that anybody joining this beta here is a good fit. That's the only reason why we don't have a public price, and we probably would have already sold out, because again, I need to make sure that you are a good fit, and I can trust that you're going to get those results. That's why, again, we're going to schedule a quick phone call and just find out if this is a good fit. Then if not, no pressure, I'll tell you. And if yes, then we're literally going to guarantee you those results. But that's, again, I need to be certain we can get you those results. That's why we want to book that call first. But either way, you can sign up here, get access to 90-minute masterclass, all the bonus resources I shared in the last launch streams here. And then, of course, everything we're talking about today here. Let me just close the window. It's actually getting a little bit cold, and then we'll jump into this content here. And let me know, guys, anybody watching already, if you watch this masterclass already, let me know if you have any questions. Of course, we got some people here. Jeremy, for example, you already joined. Of course, you let me know any specific questions you might have for today's training, and then we'll jump into the content here. I'll close the window real quick. Wish that could be automated. Okay. Can you join if you're from Mexico? Yeah, for sure, 100%. I mean, doesn't matter where you're at. Like, we got some Jacob. He just joined the other day. He's from Poland, and doesn't matter where you're at. Like, that's even an advantage, I would say, because you can offer very competitive prices. You can work with e-commerce brands worldwide. So you can work with brands from the States, brands from Asia, brands from Europe. Doesn't matter if they can send you a product, which there's tons and tons of markets. We go through some of that in today's training, actually. But there's, of course, a lot of opportunity where it doesn't matter where you're at. If you're producing commercials for, I don't know, like pens or phone cases or like any freaking products, they can ship those to you if it's like, I don't know, less than this size or whatever, of course. Otherwise, might get a little bit expensive with shipping. But that's where, of course, you're going to have a major advantage if you're located in any quote-unquote third world or cheaper cost of living country. Then, of course, you can offer very competitive prices. So yeah, for sure, like I would say sign up here, book a call with me. We'll figure out if and how this might make sense for you, what kind of niches you could go after. And again, like anything e-commerce, coaches, consultants, digital products, like all of that is like, it doesn't matter your location. Like, we've been doing so many trainings, and especially throughout the last year, with all of my one-on-one clients, we had to make sure that we find solutions that work even during lockdowns, right? Even if you cannot leave your house, even if you cannot go out and physically shoot things. So that's where a lot of, if not most of the strategies I'm going to share with you, or we set up here, work no matter where you're at. So I would say, yeah, for sure, that's actually an advantage too. So yeah, but let's jump into things here, I would say, because we got some good shit prepared here. And today is going to be a bit of a free-for-all. Going to jump all over the place, mention a lot of things that we have been talking about in past live trainings. So again, if you haven't signed up here, this is where you also get access to the other training replays and then the resources and bonuses, of course, as well. We talked about content distribution, and especially as I just mentioned, like, how do you get those retainers, or even location independent deals from clients all over the world, right? So like, especially during lockdowns, or yeah, just want to make sure you guys are safe. So cool. Let's jump into things. So generally with today's topic, how to 10x your value, income, and sanity, of course, that kind of gave me the opportunity to just go broad today, and we're not going to talk step by step with each of these things that I'm mentioning today. There is already, I can guarantee you, stuff that we covered in past trainings. So if you, again, haven't signed up and watched those replays, then I don't know what you're doing, because literally at this point you can get access for free. It's insane. So let's talk into this. So unfortunately with this software here, I can't open and close things. So I'm gonna get a little censoring block here, and then we're gonna slowly unlock things here as we go. Okay, yellow is an ugly color. Let's choose the brand Indigo. All right, and then we're gonna unlock things as we go. Cool. So there's of course a bunch of things that go into producing value, getting your income up, and your sanity, right? So what do I mean with value and income, first of all? And of course, value is somewhat relative. This is with what I mean with this is, of course, the value you bring to the market, to your clients, and that of course is going to very closely reflect with your income as well. So these are somewhat interchangeable. But before we talk about specifically how to increase your income or things you could do there, I want to make sure that you get the foundations of how is value even created, what are people looking for, and why nobody fucking cares about video. And again, if you haven't signed up for the class here, that's where we go way deeper into that, kind of step by step as well. But today we're gonna go somewhat high level, blast through things here. And again, first thing I want to talk about is, again, how do you get your value up there? Because actually, let's just make this white. Too distracting. How do you, again, get away from being that commodity and just selling one-off video production potentially? Or again, you know the drill. There's hundreds and if not thousands of other video people out there, and some of them, like, for the exact same quality, again, you could compare the videos, you wouldn't see pretty much any difference. But the one person charged $500, the other person charged $5,000, and the other person charged $15,000. So what makes the difference there? So of course, production quality is going to be one thing, right? And having past case studies, which we talked all about in the past trainings. How do you get those case studies and break into a market? Because again, if you only shot real estate work, it's going to be tough for you to maybe sell, let's say, some higher ticket or higher class e-commerce company like Nike, Adidas. They're going to ask you, hey, have you shot products before? And vice versa, if you've so far only shot product videos and now you want to shoot some service-based videos for real estate agent, then of course they just, in your mind, you know what the video is going to look like, but they want to see some specific example. And not just that, they want to know that you can help them solve their problems. Like, again, I keep giving the fucking dentist example, but it's just so simple, right? What does a dentist want? He wants patience, but he doesn't want those cheap teeth whitening patients. He wants the big butt paying guys, right? The ones where for just one surgery he can get 4 to 5, if not 6. Well, Google keeps thinking I'm a robot. 4 to 5, if not even 6,000 US dollars for just one procedure, right? So this is something very, very quote unquote basic that once you start to get to understand the market, you can actually sell them on the solutions versus the services, right? So most video people out there, they are always just focused on, hey, here's the video that we can shoot for you. We've got 30 years of combined experience, and this is how things can look. But they never actually think about what is the actual solution, and first of all, what is the actual problem that the client has, right? So let me just open up my notes here. So, oh, did that not save the right slide? It should jump to the slide. Okay, in that case. Oh, wait, now it jumped. So that is where, of course, let's just put that here. That's where, of course, if, let's say, there's one videographer who's just, again, selling one-off videos, where if most clients are going to come to you, of course, they want to promote their products. And in most cases, they're going to want to have some form of commercial that's driving traffic and sales to their products, right? So it's going straight for the kill, like, hey, go and buy your stuff now, and we're so awesome, or whatever, right? So you know the drill. It's the same thing, even if, let's say, I've sold websites before, I've sold pretty much any type of creative service in the past, and it's always the same thing. no matter what you sell to them, that is not what they actually want on what they think they actually need, right? Well, that's the difference. The client comes to you for what they think they want or what they think they need, but you need to sell them on, find out what it is that they actually need. Because again, if they want to get more sales, then if they don't have a strategy in place to get new eyeballs into their funnel, right? So think about it. Most of your clients, I can guarantee, they're not going to have hundreds of thousands of subscribers and followers. And even if that, these days it's pretty much pay to play. If you're just posting the content and praying for people to check out that content and to take action, then you're eventually going to dry out that audience, or it's not even going to do anything. Like, I can guarantee you that. For, again, I've got my bachelor's degree in digital filmmaking and visual effects, but nobody freaking cares, right? Like, even if I'm happy with the video, if my clients are happy with the video, and then we put it out on social media, if it's not getting out there and making sure that the right content is getting seen by the right people at the right time, which is the keyword here, then it's not going to do shit. So what strategy, let's be really, what strategy would you bet on? One strategy where, let's say we have just one video and we're selling the client what they think they want and need. They come to you for the commercial, you help them map out the commercial, everybody's happy, the commercial is looking amazing, you upload it to Facebook, and yeah, you don't have that strategy in place to get new people into the funnel, quote unquote, right? Their marketing, and warm those people up to even start to even care about who this brand is, right? Let's think about, like, I don't know, like let's say you're producing a commercial for I don't know, let's stick with some client examples here. So one of them, he's working with vegan supplement brands. And if for example, you have never purchased, like I myself take chlorella supplements. So these are kind of algae to detox your body from heavy metals. And if you've never considered buying this before, you don't even give a shit. Like, if you're just gonna see some ad about this, you're gonna just scroll straight past, right? You don't care. You don't, again, if you've never heard of this brand before, you probably maybe not even have heard of the product before. In that case, again, what good is that commercial gonna do that's gonna try and drive traffic to that? If on the other hand, we have some how-to teaser snippets, some educational content, like, hey, actually, like, just put some educational content out there. Like, that's how I started to then consider to buy this, which is the fact that, like, this applies for all of you guys. Like, your body cannot get heavy metals out of your body if you don't take any supplements against it. There's literally no way that your body can there's a word for that, can basically get rid of those toxins, right? There's no way that your body itself, just like when you take, well, not just like, but when you take sugar or things like, I don't know, some bad stuff you shouldn't eat, then your body is going to be able to, over time, at least get rid of that stuff. But heavy metals, they keep on compounding, stacking up. And again, now I'm preaching here about to you guys because I'm huge on health and that kind of stuff. But again, that's the information, right? The how-to content, or in my case, it was probably some YouTube video that motivated me to even start to consider to buy something. And then I was in the market, kind of warm, looking for things, and that's where I eventually found out that, hey, there's even a difference between if you grow this stuff out in the ocean, or in an enclosed system, and you want to get the stuff that's in an enclosed system, because if you get it from the ocean, there's going to be other toxins as well as heavy metals in it, and it's not going to make sense to detox with that in that case. So again, there's all of these steps that a buyer goes through, from completely cold and not giving a shit about what it is that you or your clients are even selling, to a spot where they are even starting to now consider what this even is. And then, only then, they would be ready to buy. Now, if you show them some promotional content, then of course they're going to buy. So again, which strategy would you bet on? If you were the business owner, gun to your head, there's one video guy who, again, you went to him, they're just offering you that commercial. And then the other guy who's asking you all these questions in terms of, like, hey, how do you plan on distributing that content? What's the strategy in place there? How do you plan on getting new people into your marketing here? And again, of course they're gonna go with you, because you are selling them the solution. Or again, you're away from, you're no longer selling just a commodity, just like all the other video guys out there, but you're selling them on the actual solution to their problems. And we went way deeper in that in past trainings. And of course, if you again haven't signed up for the masterclass here, I'm literally just pulling single screenshots from the 90-minute presentation here, and that's not like these live trainings where I'm just whiffing it. This is just straight up content here. But yeah, again, so you don't even need to overthink it. All it takes is just some basic research and marketing knowledge and the power of video. You don't need to become a marketing expert or by marketing agency by any means. It's just knowing the fact that, hey, there's different types of content you can produce to even get people to even consider what it is, right? So if you're working with a client, let's say, again, let's stick with the chlorella example here. Up at the top of the funnel, you might even have some memes that you're posting, right? So literally, guy looking at girl meme, right? You all know that girl, right? So this could be this could be the brand name, or organic enclosed system chlorella, or closed system chlorella, and then this could be generic grown chlorella. And then this would be you, right? That could be like a meme that you could post, literally, where, again, anybody's going to stop scrolling for memes. It's at the same time educating, entertaining them, and maybe not inspiring them, right? But you don't need to do all three, right? So this is where something, even if you've never heard of this brand before, you don't give a shit, you might stop scrolling. This might spark your interest. And from that point on, again, the beauty of this setup is where that's why I love doing these trainings, because you don't know what you don't know, and a lot of you guys do not know how fucking easy it is to, if you have your funnel set up, where you might have a video here at the top of the funnel, and you can literally set it up where, hey, if somebody watched this video, or they even just like the post, let's throw a heart here, no matter what they do, you can set up automated retargeting campaigns and automatically now show them some other content. So you all know these ads that keep following you around the internet. And let's stick with the example, because literally every time I go to speedtest.net, test my internet connection, you're gonna see now I'm gonna get retargeted by that supplement company. I guarantee. Let's wait for it. Oh, okay, this single time it didn't do it. Literally, all my calls for the past days, I showed this to clients and they were laughing. But you guys know these ads that keep following you around the internet, right? They're this is Google ads, for example. There's, of course, also Facebook and Instagram. And all of this may sound very complicated. Oh, shit, how the fuck do I do that? But trust me, guys, it is so easy to set up. It's basically just a piece of code. You copy and paste it onto your website. And on Facebook and YouTube, you don't even need to do anything. You just select in the drop-down menu, hey, show anybody that watched this video more than 50%, or anybody that liked our content, automatically show them this content down here, right? And if they've seen that, automatically now show them maybe the special offer content. And again, that's just some basic stuff that a lot of you guys don't know, which is, again, why I love doing these trainings. And just research or do some searches for, or again, if you're so serious about setting this up, of course, go ahead, sign up for the beta here, book your call with me, and we can go a little bit deeper on that. And of course, if you go sign up here for the actual program, we're going to help you set all of this up for yourself and your clients, of course. But again, all of this is pretty basic stuff. Again, you don't need to go out there and do tons of split testing and run all of these crazy campaigns. Literally just knowing that, hey, we can produce different content for people that never heard of the brand before, different content for people that are already kind of in the market, and then content for people who are ready to buy. And if you're now thinking geez, how do I come up with all these ideas or whatever, then look no further. In the last couple of trainings, we've covered exactly that. So again, sign up, get the replays and the bonuses there. And we even had a full-on worksheet that you can literally go through step by step to set up all this entire system for your clients. Of course, if you're really serious about setting this up, then of course go ahead, book that call with me at pushrec.com/beta. But yeah, this is the high level overview, guys. So again, stop thinking project and start thinking strategy, and that's how you again start selling solutions versus services. You're no longer a commodity, and again, they could choose any of the thousands of other video people out there, but you're actually becoming the solution to their problems. And of course, when it comes to now, how do I sell this type of stuff? Again, we covered that in past trainings as well. Bootcamp member. Let me just show you guys which training specifically you might want to look at here. I'll switch out the camera in a second. Yeah, that's what you get when you use the Sony battery. So again, all of these trainings here are pretty much 90-minute long, not step by step, but really going into depth in some of these trainings. Like the one last week, we really did go step by step, which was I'm not sure if it's in here yet. So I guess it would be service delivery, create 3 months of content in 3 days. Again, setting up a Facebook ad campaign I even showed you guys. And again, right now you can get access for this if you just sign up for pushrec.com/beta here. And again, you can check out all these trainings here as well. So again, the Facebook ad setup, turn content into sales machines through paid ads, and a bunch of other fun things. So it looks like the other one Oh yeah, fill your pipeline. Oh no, sell and deliver yearly content retainer. So this is where we're going specifically into how do you now sell these deals. And we didn't go too much in the deliver part here, but that's really interesting if you're gonna if you struggle on how do I position this, how do I make that transition of selling this, and then of course our general sales training that we had here as well was 3 hours of sales training. But yeah, that's the first thing. Again, how do you increase your value? Is just start selling solutions versus just the service, right? You're not helping. Again, we went through that in the past trainings. Nobody buys anything except for the fact where they want to get away from their current situation and they want to get to their desired situation, right? Nobody does or buys anything if they're not trying to get away from their pains and towards their desires. There's always some form of motivation, right? And your offer is only going to be there to pretty much help them get from point A to point B. So think about it, like nobody, again, cares about video. Nobody wants just to have a pretty video to sit on their website. In the end, they want to get new people into the door. They want to warm those people up to their offer, and they want to get fucking sales, right? So sales, reach, awareness, whatever that may be, right? So that is usually the end goal. And again, that is always the difference between where is some person at right now, where do they want to go, right? Even if it's, yeah, let's stick with some basic examples like the chlorella or the supplement stores here. Again, usually their current situation might be that, hey, they're already getting somewhat good sales through their websites and through social media, but they want to get more predictability. Actually, this store here looks like they're fully set up. They've got their Facebook tracking code, Pinterest tracking, Google Ads tracking. The only thing I don't see here is TikTok, but then again, their audience is probably not on TikTok. But again, it's usually some form of, again, right now they're getting X amount of sales and they want to get to Y amount of sales. That's very, very, very basic, of course, right now. In yesterday's call, actually, one more clients here. Again, you can for free screenshot that real quick. We mapped that out a little bit more in detail, but it's always just, of course, about mapping out where are these guys at right now and where do they want to go. And here might be just some basic questions if we were, let's say, looking at some e-commerce stores potentially, right? So like, hey, how much traffic are you getting right now? How many sales are you getting? What's your profit margin? So we can get a feel for their numbers. And of course, we want to flesh that out in terms of where they want to go. And the difference is, of course, like going to be your offer. And that's going to be how, oh, Jesus. That's going to be, find the training here. That's going to be all the little steps and things that you help them with, right? So it might be mapping out the initial strategy, mapping out where are you going to be posting the content, the different content types, and having the entire strategy set up, right? That might be one part of the equation. And then, of course, producing the content, distributing the content, analyzing and measuring and improving things. And of course, those are different hurdles that they need to jump over. And that is your offer, guys, right? Don't start adding all the shit that they don't need. Sell the client what they actually need to get from point A to point B, which in most cases is going to be more than just that video block right there. Again, most video producers, they maybe do a little bit of like, hey, we can do this type of strategy, and they produce the video, and then all these other things are missing, and then they wonder, well, they don't wonder even, right? The client just doesn't call you back because he thinks video doesn't work. But again, video is one of the most powerful marketing mediums there is. So if you apply correctly, you're going to be off to the races. So yeah, that's the first thing right there, right? Selling solutions versus actual, versus just being another commodity and service. So yeah, let me know if that makes sense, everybody watching. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Should be seeing the chat from all platforms here. And yeah, then next up, we're going to go into some more foundations. And again, if you haven't signed up, go check out the training here. We go into some more detailed step-by-step. It should jump to the thing in a second. So here's what I bore my clients, one-on-one clients. And in each of these trainings, I bore you guys to death with this, but it is always the same shit with whatever you're doing. I'm going to just screenshot this, take this actually into Miro, just so we got it and I can draw on things here. So you need to understand like business, right? So how does a business work? And more importantly, I've got the keyword here, systems, right? So everything in life is a system, and all systems are connected. There's microsystems, which are the small, and then there's the macro systems, right? There's the macro system, like just like think about the ecosystem, right? There's the sun, right? That's of course a big thing. Wow, now you're really watching my painting skills here. That might be like a macro system that's changing a shit ton when it comes to our environment. Then of course we have the trees, right? So those are a little bit more micro, but in there we have leaves, right? And in the leaves, I can't zoom in more, we might have microorganisms, and all of these things are interconnected, right? So the microorganisms, they could fuck up the leaves. If the leaves are have a disease, they could kill the tree. And if the tree now that is not there, he's not going to take the CO2 in and put in like whatever the frick. Like I'm no science guy, right? You know the drill. But the idea is that there's the little things that are connected and change each other, and then there's the bigger things, right? So just this one tree here, he might have some what's the word? A mushroom, right? And literally the mushrooms, like this is, I'm not weird here. The mushrooms, literally, if there's another tree right here who's like sick, like let's say he's breaking down because of the leaves, and I'll show you how all of this applies to business in just a second, don't you worry, right? But if this tree gets sick, it's going to send signals throughout the floor, and actually the microorganisms are going to notify each other, like literally, like I'm not making this up, like the mushroom's going to warn the tree basically of the illness, and then it's getting prepared. So like there's all of these little things that are interconnected, and now people come in, they chop down the tree, they chop down the fucking mushrooms, they don't put the mushroom things back. Basically, if you take out mushrooms, you want to like if you want to take them, you want to put the little fungi spores, you want to put those back into the floor, so there's going to be new mushrooms growing, right? But people don't give a shit. They don't see how things are connected, and then they're wondering like why if they take this one thing here, all of a sudden the entire fucking forest is gone, right? So like that might be a little bit drastic there. And of course I haven't even talked about how this again, now there's rain and water, and like all of these things are completely connected. You cannot look at things in just a variable, right? So, and just like that, your business is set up, right? There's the little things, like how do you show up, and how do you handle your sales calls, and then there's the little things, like do you even have a sales process to begin with? And to make things a little bit more clear here, actually, and more straight to the point, let's just paste this here. So pretty much this is business 101. It works for all business, no matter what you tell me. Well, if you can come up with any type of business, like outside of video production even, where this doesn't apply, you let me know. But from my eyes and what I can tell, these are the systems, right? So these are the let's say your marketing systems, right? Your sales systems, your service delivery systems, right? These are on the macro level, right? If you don't have a marketing system to get leads into the door, like here's the deal, like most filmmakers, they only focus on the service delivery part, right? They watch the next best Peter McKinnon, Daniel Schiffer, or God knows what craziness service delivery stuff, where like, hey, I love me some fancy gear reviews as well, right? But that's not going to get you new clients, right? Because no matter how much you focus on your service delivery, if you don't have a sales system that actually gets new leads closed, right? Cold hard strangers, converting those into paying clients. And pretty much, again, most of you guys have been relying on networking, word of mouth referrals, whereas people coming to you, where you don't really have to have a sales system. Pretty much like most of these guys close on autopilot if they're already coming to you, right? But if you don't have a system to really get leads or potential clients sold on what you have to offer, then no amount of focusing on your service delivery is going to get you new leads in, right, on new sales. So there's no services to deliver. And of course, these things connect together on a high level, but then there's the smaller level where, again, these are your little micro systems, right? You might have an automated onboarding process, project management tools, automation tools, and again, I'll go more into this in towards the other sections of the training here. And again, delegating, outsourcing your work. And those are all the little microsystems that you can set up, right? What is your process for onboarding new clients, and for actually making sure that when you go on a shoot, you have everything that you need, or really mapped out the entire shoot. That way you can, within 2 days or 1 day of shooting, you can get 3 months of content done, right? That is only possible if you have effective service delivery systems, of course, right? But again, no matter how much you focus on that, you're not going to get new sales. And if you don't have a sales process in place, or again, you do have a sales process in place, and you're like the most amazing person when it comes to converting cold hard strangers who don't give a shit about you into sales, then again, that's not going to matter if you don't have a marketing system in place, right? So even if you have a sales script and you have like a video sales letter, which kind of on autopilot warms up people and gets them to consider your services, right? So this might be, let's say you help one of those dentists get 5 Invisalign patients within a week of launching your campaign. You could turn that into a video sales letter. That's what marketers call it, or you could just call it a case study video as well. And again, that could help you with your sales. Landing pages and funnels, that's a bit more advanced, right? You can literally run paid ads to your website and turn those into bookings if you know what you're doing, of course. Or maybe just an appointment setter, where those are going to help you really close those deals, get more people into the door. But again, even if you have all of that stuff to convert people into your business, then that's not going to matter if you don't have a way to attract new people to your business, right? Your marketing systems. So this is where things like email outreach, LinkedIn automations, potentially even just basic content marketing, making sure that, hey, if you're working with vegan e-commerce brands, you could just produce some content for your own LinkedIn, like, hey, 10 types of content you need as a vegan e-commerce brand, right? So it's that kind of content. Then you connect with some people, some marketing managers of these brands on LinkedIn. They're going to see your content, and again, maybe connect that with a little bit of email outreach. And the goal here is, of course, where you know, hey, for every X input, and this is the idea of a system, right? So there's always an input, right? So input, right? This is what you put into the system. Then there's a process. Let's just draw it like that. Process. And there's an output, right? You have an input. You have some way of processing things. And you have, I don't know, let's draw it like that. An output. Output. Well, should have drawn that better here. That is so ugly. Output. Wow, okay. You guys get the idea. Well, now I'm going to basically show you how this applies, right? So for email outreach, what is the input, right? The input might be, hey, here's a process for how we find the leads. A virtual assistant might be the process, right? Your input is like a checklist. Let's checklist plus process to find leads, right? So you have that systemized where, you know, hey, this is how where and how we find our leads. The process might be literally a virtual assistant that is then taking that process and implementing it, right? They're processing the data, right? So if I want to launch a campaign, I tell my my virtual assistant, where are we going to find those leads? And again, we talked about that in past trainings in detail. Like, I'm not going to go through like, hey, where do I find these leads? What do I reach out to them? We covered that in immense detail in past trainings. So again, sign up for pushrec.com/beta if you haven't already. Make sure you catch those replays there and the bonuses. But yeah, the idea is we have some form of input, right? So for me, it would be like, I'll let my assistant know, like, hey, I'm looking for leads in this kind of industry. We can find them on LinkedIn with these parameters, right? So LinkedIn Sales Navigator, for example, you can literally, let's see if we have some images here. You can literally filter down by industry and company size, headcount. Oh, Jesus, I just want to show you like an image here. Headcount and all of these filters. And that's what I might give my assistant here. I can't open it up here. Let me just scroll all the way in, right? So industry, headcount, title, right? You might look for CMOs, marketing managers, in e-commerce companies that have any of the keywords vegan or plant-based, right? Because we're reaching out to those types of businesses. And again, that is now getting to the next step here. If you don't know who the fuck am I even reaching out to and what problems might they have, you're not going to even fucking know who am I even going to reach out to, where am I going to find these people, right? Where, again, if you now know who's that target, of course, that's going to be easy as cake, right? So in my case, that might be my system here, right? I tell my assistant or my person who's helping me with the outreach, or even myself, right? I know, hey, this is the input, this is who I need to find here. The process is then maybe automation software, maybe a virtual assistant, maybe just cold hard, just going through the list and adding people to my spreadsheet or client relationship management tool, right? That's another system, CRM. That's CRM. Basically, there's all of these, customer relationship management tool. I hate for marketers and business people to come up with these acronyms. I'm sorry, guys, but this is like a software you use to manage your pipeline and the people you're reaching out to. So that's another system right there, right? So that's where, again, the input, you put in the leads. Your process is how you reach out to them, right? Again, whatever you do, this is the actual action. And then you're going to have some form of output. And again, let's say we're sticking to the outreach example here. That's where you then know, hey, for every X amount of emails sent, we're going to get Y amount of responses, right? Responses. And for every Y amount of responses, we're going to get X amount of bookings, right? And literally, booking. Literally, that is a system, right? Where you know, hey, for 100 people we put in here, with this type of messaging. And again, you can test out different types of messages, split test those against each other, send 20 emails to the with this kind of message, 20 emails with this message, and then just see which one works better. And again, that is the system. Your input is new leads that you send this message, and the output is hopefully responses and bookings. And by the very least, you're going to get data, and you're going to find out, hey, why did this email maybe work better? Why did it maybe not work better? And that is, let me just try and find it here. That is the continuous process of you going out there. I can't find it. And actually getting out there, getting feedback, and looking at what works and what doesn't work. Because if you really look at it as a system, there's absolutely no way to fail. Like literally, like it's just gonna be not the output that you don't want, right? So if your input is again, you reach out to you input is new leads, if your process is your outreach, your email, and your output is like, hey, I'm not getting any outreach, not any bookings here, then of course, again, you want to look at why, right? And ideally, you want to then again use that as feedback to create new inputs, right? So you're going to ask yourself questions, come up with a new hypothesis, some new scripts that again you now input into your system, you process them, reach out, and you see, hey, did it work now? And if not, then you keep going back and optimizing things. There's no way you can fail with this process, right? It's literally just like in science class, you come up with a hypothesis, you test things out. And if it doesn't work out, that doesn't mean you failed. That means you just got some feedback, right? Don't let you get yourself conditioned down by society and the school system that tells you like, hey, every time you do something wrong, you fucked up. That's not the case. In business, the faster you go out there and fail, the faster you're actually getting feedback. So that is really important. And again, your business is a system. Every business is a system. And every business has a target audience, right? Somebody who is going to buy their product, who's going to buy their services, right? That's always the case. And they always have a problem that they want to solve. They always want to get from, again, where they're at to where they want to go, right? They want to either get away from pain, right? And they want to get towards their desires, right? That is always the case. So, yeah, sorry for my beautiful drawing here today. But that is important, guys. So based off that, you can then, of course, map out, depending on their problems, what are you even going to say to these people, right? Because a dentist, again, message that they might care about is like, hey, we recently helped another dentist in the area, right? We have a clear target, which might be a dentist for this campaign here. And again, because that's a clear target, they have a clear problem, which is, hey, they don't want to get those cheap-ass teeth whitening patients. They want to get the patients with big bucks, right? So, and let's say we can help them get some Invisalign patients through some basic video marketing, right? We have some educational content, get some people even warmed up to the idea that they could use Invisalign instead of doing all of these other things. And hey, this is why Invisalign is better. And all of this content that you can help them produce, or campaign that you can help them create to, in the end, get new people into their system and get new sales out, right? So that's, again, a specific problem that we can now target with our message here, right? So again, the message derives from the problem derives from the target, and then we just got to figure out, okay, how do we get that message in front of these guys? And that's your outreach system. So if it's a dentist, then maybe email and LinkedIn might be a good idea. Don't try and cold call, right? You're going to get stuck with a receptionist. But again, that's just a matter of where do these people hang out? Because most people always ask me, what's the best way to find clients? What's the best way? How do I find clients? How do I get clients? Like, well, no, I can't fucking tell you. Like, there's no best way. It depends on who you're reaching out to. If you're reaching out to musicians, they're going to hang out potentially on Instagram and TikTok. That might be a great outreach system to get your message in front of these people, which in the end is your marketing systems. So that was a mouthful, guys. But let me know if that makes sense. Or if you do have any questions. If it makes sense, then just drop let's drop some engagement on the stream here. I don't know, drop some fire emojis if you're watching on Facebook, like or heart the thing. Let's get this out to some more people here, because I think I'm killing my engagement by restreaming this to multiple platforms. But yeah, if we're all good, drop some engagement. If you've got questions, let me know. But that is the key to increasing your value. You need to, first of all, stop selling just a service, start selling solutions, and you need to understand how business actually works. Just that alone, it's going to help you not just for your own business and knowing who can you actually reach out to, how are you going to get leads into the door, how are you going to sell these guys, and how are you going to deliver the services. That's not just for you. This is also applying one-to-one for when you're helping or working with your clients, right? if you're producing content for your clients, for Invisalign, for example, or the supplement example, no matter what it is, they have a target audience as well, right? So let's say real estate agents, right? So who would be the target for this house, right? What problem do these people have when they're looking for a house, right? There's like, hey, you could do some content based off like 10 things to consider when choosing your first home, right? That might be a problem that the target audience of a real estate agent might have. And then we can target that with your marketing systems, which this is your main job. Of course, if you're working with clients, your main job is going to be, again, helping them set up their marketing systems and get leads into the door, right? So that is, of course, your main job. But this, you can, again, as I showed you here, this applies perfectly, not just for yourself, but also when looking at your clients' businesses, thinking about how you can help them when picking your niche, right? You don't want to have a niche, like I talked about this with a client yesterday here. You don't want to pick a niche where they're capped out with service delivery, or they might not have a sales system set up here. Let's say you work with a small gym that can only hold on 10 people per class max. No matter how many leads you help them generate or how much traffic and potential sales you help them get here, here's the next thing, right? Let's say you run some content for a gym, you get a ton of signups for a 7-day free trial, and again, you pump all of that traffic and all of those quote-unquote results into their systems. But now, of course, you're not handling the sales and delivery system for the client, right? And let's say it's a gym and they don't have any sales system, and as of now, they've been only doing like getting referral clients as well, and they don't have a clue how to convert those free trial strangers into actual yearly contracts. And again, even if you now help them get hundreds of people in here, if they don't have a way to now close these deals and actually position their offer in the right way, then they're going to just very quickly start to blame that on you, right? Even if you help them generate like 30 new leads that month and they only close 2, they're going to tell you, oh, these leads suck, they don't work. Well, no shit, Sherlock. If you don't call them back within the first 15, 30 minutes, response times are going to go down. If you don't have a way to actually show them the benefits of your offer and really position that in the right way, they're not going to get the sales, right? So even when choosing your niche, again, you can use this to analyze other businesses, right? So, hey, do they have a sales system set up if it's an e-commerce store, right? Does their website look like it's from 1999? Or do they already have like an optimized store with like social proof, some good descriptions, right? So the reviews, are they already tracking their web? Again, you can use tools like Webalizer here, or just the Facebook Pixel Helper to see if they have their tracking code set up, and all of these little things, because that's their sales system. An e-commerce store, right? You're getting them the traffic through your marketing, right? But their sales system is going to be their website in most cases, right? They're not taking phone calls to convert those people into sales here. So how well optimized is that? So again, I've had it where literally like just the other week here, for my girlfriend works at a restaurant. And I helped them, they just launched up the restaurant. I helped them take some photos, right? So these photos you see here, I took those. And I mean, I'm happy with the photos, but his website was like, it was non-existent. He had like a default website by some, let's not even talk about it. It was so horrible. So like literally like the next thing I did is just build him out a quick website here. Because again, no matter, even if you have some good content, if your website looks like it's from 1999, which this one hopefully doesn't, hope I did a somewhat decent job building it here, guys. But that's where, now that we have an optimized website, that's actually that actually might get results, right? So no matter how much traffic we help them get, if their website looks like shit, or they don't have a way to convert interest into sales, that's the keyword here, then it's not going to do anything, right? And even now, if you help them, they get crazy amounts of sales, but they're capped out in a service delivery where they can only take on 10 people in the gym every month, or I don't know, whatever that may be. Let's say the restaurant, right? Let's say COVID rules, they can only take on 5 tables, and that's not really going to be worth it. So even if we, again, no matter how much traffic we help them get in, how many sales they get, if they're capped out on service delivery or they don't have a sales system, then stay away from them, right? So yeah, this applies for any business, not just your own. And just this knowledge alone is going to put you ahead of all these other video people who literally all they do all day, every day is just focus on service delivery. And even with that, they're not looking at project management tools, automation, delegation, and outsourcing. They're just like running an expensive hobby pretty much. So that was a lot. Let me know, guys. That is pretty much the main things that you need to understand when it comes to upping your value, right? Understand how you can sell solutions versus services, the key systems you need, and how systems as a whole work, right? There's always an input, an input, a process, and an output, right? With whatever we do here, we always have inputs, processes, and outputs, right? The sales script, we have an input, that's a new call. Process is the sales script. The output is, hey, potentially sale. And same thing, like appointment setters, like the inputs, you give them a list of leads. The process, they reach out to them. The output, you got new sales calls, right? LinkedIn automations, like each of these, right? They all have inputs, processes, and outputs. And your job is to identify and build out these systems. And if you can do that, you're not just going to up your value. We're already going into the sanity part here pretty much, and the income. Like it's all connected here, of course. It's all systems, right? So yeah, that was the first section here, guys. We're going to now get into the next part. I'm going to refresh my camera batteries real quick. Let me know if you do have questions. All right, let me just put that here. All right, switching battery. Yeah, I gotta get a wall plug eventually. Okay, let's put the camera back on. Alrighty. Let's keep going then. Hey man, sure thing. Yeah, you need a, for sure. Let's yeah, it is simple as well. Like you need to just understand how fucking business works. Let's just think about it. There's one video guy doesn't give a shit, has no clue, is just selling the client on the video, and another guy who just understands how business works, right? Because that's the number one thing I see with most filmmakers out there. They're pretty much treating their job like an expensive hobby. They never think about who am I even gonna help here, what problems might these people even have. They don't think about the messaging, just like generic shit. Yeah, you just need to follow this process, right? And if you got that, then again, you're already way ahead of any other people, of course, right? So yeah, and let's get that beautiful drawing out of the way here as well. And just like understanding how simple it is as well, like because most people they're completely confused or like don't even know what to focus on, and this always shows you what to focus on. Hey, are you getting sales? If not, then well, you always want to start at the left part here. Do you even have a target? Do you even know what problems they have? Do you even have a message outreach system to reach them, right? And again, you can always kind of reverse engineer from there. So yeah, with Shark Tank, you're gonna find out, okay, target and problem. Like they have a lot of like, hey, here's our pitch, this is our idea. But yeah, like in the end, like this is business, right? Like just look at any, like again, I'm still waiting for people to argue with me on that because I'd be very open to that. But any fucking business on earth fits into this thing, right? There's always a target audience or somebody who should buy the product and thing. Like it's always pretty much this, right? There's of course down here, like when it comes to the actual like step-by-step microsystems, I call them, right? Like this is different for every business, right? Like you don't, like not everybody's gonna have these, and you don't need all of these even, right? So these are the little processes, principles, again, details, where most people, they get stuck on this little thing. They just focus on, oh, the email, how do I, but they never even think about, again, who am I even emailing here? What problems might they have, right? So yes, exactly. So yeah, this hopefully simplifies that then. So yeah, that's the big idea here for the first value part. Now we're gonna go into some more specific income things here that I just brainstormed before the call. So yeah, understanding business systems. I'm just gonna put that next to here, and I'm gonna again make sure you guys. I'm gonna get a big PDF out of this here. I just share the mirror board. Cool. So how do you 10x your income then, right? So now we're already kind of up in our value by selling solutions versus services and understanding what people might actually need and want. So let's talk income. So that's, you guys knew it, right? That's where, of course, hey, selling retainers versus one-off projects. So I gotta wait for this to load here. So that's, of course, the big, like, just the easy math to do is just look at, if you have a single one-off project, $5,000 a month. Let's just open up a calculator, right? That's, of course, all you might make with that client. Maybe they come back for a second video that year and you get $10,000, right? But if on the other hand you sign a 12-month contract at just $2,000, right? That could be $24,000, right? So even if you're getting paid less, quote unquote, per month or per video or what you do over the long term, you need to understand customer lifetime value, right? So there's again, you're going to have clients that come back like multiple times a year. Usually you have clients that maybe just buy a one-off video, but the idea is, again, to stop thinking project and start thinking strategy and actually sell the client on what they actually need, right? Which in 99% of the cases is, again, not just that one video. I already talked about that here. So that's where, of course, just the basic math, right? So let's say you're selling minimum 6 month. Well, actually, let me just share this with you. Math. So you're not going to get access to this one here though, because actually I might share this as well. It's not too crazy. But this is kind of the process I go through with my one-on-one clients, or now also people in the beta group here. So this is just some basic math here, right? So if we look at your average retainer just costing, like we just did this here with Jacob. He just joined the beta group here the other day. He's from Poland. So we're staying a little bit lower with the retainer here at just $1,500, which is very, very competitive. And he can like make some he's from Poland, so he doesn't have a high cost of living. This is a very, very good price that we could potentially get him in. And then we even calculate the amount of sales calls you might need to take in. From there, of course, you can reverse engineer the actual amount of messages that you need to send. So you literally, like, that's a system, guys, right? Where you know, hey, for every X amount of calls we get, we're going to get Y amount of sales, right? And of course, if you have done 10, 20 sales calls, you know your numbers, right? So that's where on average, we're going to say for, hey, 10 calls, we're going to get 1 sale, right? Or for 5 calls, we're going to get 1 sale. That's 20%, right? So if 100 people closed, of course, we would just need 1 call. If 50% closed, we would need 2 calls, right? This is just very, very basic math. I don't need to explain that to you. But a good rate to look at is 20% potentially, right? And again, this is how you can then start to reverse engineer and systemize things. Again, this is a very high level. We got some more crazy workflows when it comes to actually, of course, tracking and improving your messages and really knowing exactly where, hey, for every X amount of messages, we're going to get this exact result. And then you can tweak that, do slight tweaks on the subject line, the slight tweaks on the opening sentence or the call to action at the end of the email, and you're going to get those numbers up. But now I'm already talking outreach again here. Let's just show you the math when it comes to the retainers here. So if you were starting out with $0 and you want to just add on $1,500 extra, which would mean, of course, 1 new client every month, right? So if we're charging 1.5K per retainer and we want to get 1.5K in new revenue that month, then of course we would just need to get 1 new client every single month, right? Of course, if we then get to keep all those clients, then by let's say just the 3rd month, we would already have 3 clients. And lifetime value closed here, if we are selling minimum of 3-month retainers, would already be 13 grand, right? So 1 client, of course, if on average they're staying 3 months, then of course, again, 3 times 1,500, they are worth $4,500, right? Of course, you're not getting all of that necessarily on the 1st month. That's where, of course, you can do some ninja methods in terms of like giving them a discount if they pay in full, right? Hey, if you pay the full 3 months, you're going to get 10% off. You can get some good cash flow that way. But this is the lifetime value, right? Even if they pay you month by month and they don't pay it in full, just 1 new client might be worth this much, right? And then if the next month you just want to get 1 more client here, then you'd already be at $9,000 lifetime value, right? And this stacks up. This is just literally 1 new client that you would need every single month. Let's say by the third month, maybe you want to get 3,000 extra, so you want to get 2 new clients, right? And that's of course now getting into some more sales calls you would need to do, which means you of course need to generate more sales calls, right? It's all this, right? So if you want to get more sales calls, of course, then you need to pump out more marketing messages here. That's of course going to help you reverse engineer that. But that's just some very basic math when it comes to retainers. And most people don't realize this, that like even again, you get just 1 new client per month. If they stick, the revenue and the lifetime value is going to add up real quick. So these numbers are still very conservative. Like typically you want to sell $2,500 retainers, right? And then maybe get 1 new client per month. That might be a solid target. And then again, by month 12, you'll be pretty much at 100K there. So that's some basic math that you could just look at. And then again, we go into some more detail on what that could make as a difference as well in the training there. So make sure to sign up if you haven't done that already. And of course, if you then go ahead and join that beta group as well, like this is just scratching the surface when it comes to some of the tools and resources, of course, that you get access to. We're gonna literally reverse engineer things down to the dollar. So yeah, again, if you haven't signed up already, you get access to all the other training replays as well. Pushrec.com/beta. So yeah, like literally again, just 1 retainer. And like I gave that example in the last call. Jeremy here, he's on the call as well. I'm still so proud of that. That's where we got him from off of Fiverr, from selling like average just one-off videos, which still was a decent price, over average $200 per just basic 3D animations. And now just that one transition of selling packages, we sold a $2,000 package of the same videos, just because again, we're now selling them the actual thing they need, which is not just one-off videos. We're packaging things together. And then even better, now we got a retainer closed for I think 3,500 or something over 6 months. That was like 16,000 in lifetime value basically, right? So it's just that one little shift and really getting in there and understanding this. Like literally, that's like I'm not joking around when I say 10x, right? So if before you made on average I don't know, $1,500 per video, if you turn that into a retainer, you're easily gonna 10x that. So literally the other day, like that was a little bit unfortunate for me. I had a call with somebody, some guys from Switzerland. They wanted to join the coaching, and then one day after that, they had 4 sales calls, and I really pushed them, and they also wanted to start selling the retainers as well. And then that day, I'm not saying it's because of me, of course, but they had the idea, of course, and they had as well. They want to start selling the retainers, and they closed, I think, a $15,000 retainer deal and a bunch of other brands where now they're just way too busy, and they're not going to need my help for the next 2 months now. But that was of course huge as well for them. Like they were selling $12,000 videos before, but now of course a $15,000 per month retainer. Like just think about what that would do for your business, right? So yeah, it takes more work than just literally like taking orders, right? If you want to stay an order taker and make money like an order taker, where people come to you, they order the video and you just sell that to them, then you're gonna again be my guest and stay there. But if you want to again run an actual business, then you should go out there, think about who can I help, what problems do they have, and again build out the system to help them actually get there, right? Which in most cases is going to include some form of marketing knowledge. Even if you don't need to become a marketing agency, you don't need to start running crazy amounts of ads or whatever. Just knowing that you can set up a strategy where, hey, we can have this type of content, and then if they see this type of content, we automatically show them this type of content. Basic retargeting, right? You know, those ads that keep following you around the internet, some of those basic things, and then helping your client over the long term. That alone is going to make the biggest difference. And that always makes the biggest difference for all of my clients and everybody I've worked on, spoke with over the past 3 years working with filmmakers. Like literally, this is the real deal, right? So yeah, like literally, even if you're like doing just a very like let's say you're not even producing content for somebody, you could sign a $500 per month retainer, literally going out there and helping people. Helping your clients just repurpose some of their existing stuff through Canva and things like that, right? So there's all of these options out there where you wouldn't even need to produce content for the clients. Literally just repurposing content. And like we talked about this in past trainings in detail. I don't want to talk about the specifics. How do you sell and deliver these retainers here? Go ahead, check out those trainings if you haven't. And of course, if you're serious about this, you want to set all this up, then I highly encourage you to sign up here, book that call, and we'll see if and how I can help you set all of this up. Cool. So that's retainers versus one-off projects. I mean, you guys knew that was coming, right? So the next thing is becoming that brain surgeon just versus the general practitioner, right? Think about it. Like, who do you think makes more money? The general practitioner you go to for, I don't know, whatever it is that you may have or may not have, or if you have like a serious fucking issue on your brain, and there's a person that's handling that, again, who do you think is going to get more money, right? So this applies perfectly for pretty much all industry, especially video production, because 99% of the video producers out there, or production companies, they don't have any unique value proposition. They don't have anything unique about them, and literally blab on this exact same message and this exact same positioning that everybody else has, right? So they don't stand out in any way, shape, or form. And trust me, I've looked at hundreds, if not thousands, of production company websites. It's always like, hey, we got 50 years of combined experience, and like, hey, we do everything from pre-production to post-production, and blah blah blah. Like, I don't care. Like, everybody does that. Like, what makes you different? Even if you say we also do social media management, and like, even if you're this training inspired you to know that you need to do this stuff as well, there's hundreds of other people that also say that they do this, right? So that's where, again, just saying that you also help them distribute the content. If you like, well, if you have some good stuff to show and you know what you're doing, then awesome, for sure, that's going to help you out, right? But again, that's still being a general practitioner, right? So just think about it. If you have a hard pressing issue with your business, which everybody, as I mentioned, has problems that they want to solve, which is the only reason why they buy things, right? Otherwise they wouldn't buy things. They would stay exactly where they're at. If they wouldn't want to change anything, they don't need to. So again, just put yourself in the perspective. If you got shit broken in your brain, then even if you have multiple brain surgeons to choose from, are you going to go with the one who charges you 5,000 for the procedure, or the one who charges 10,000? I don't know. If I had the money and it's my brain that needs something, I would probably even go with the more expensive one, because it's like a really important problem. Like, I don't want somebody to fuck up my brain, right? So that's how you should also look at video production. And how does this apply? It's easy. You just pick a specific target that you can help. Which doesn't mean that you need to niche down for the rest of your life and you only need to, again, do those dentist videos, like I keep giving that example. But if you reach out to another dentist, again, and you're not just sounding like the other general practitioner, you're like, hey, I can help you with everything. We do this, we do video, we're going to help you get more clients. Like, nobody cares. Even if you tell them, like, we get you new clients, like, that's not their language. That's not what they need. The dentist doesn't want to get new clients. He has enough clients, and he doesn't call them clients, he calls them patients, right? So again, we want to speak that language and really find out what they need and become that brain surgeon, which is like, hey, I know that I saw that you already have some good content, but notice you don't have any specific campaigns for getting new Invisalign patients. We just helped another dentist in the area generate 4 new Invisalign patients within 1 week of launching our campaign, which brought an additional $20,000 in revenue. Which could be the real number, actually, right? 4 times 5K for an Invisalign patient. And that's how you become that brain surgeon, right? You're solving a specific problem for a specific subset of people. And again, this does not mean you need to work with those people for the rest of your life, but you need to know who exactly is it that I want to help here, and what problems do they have? Because if you don't get clear on that, your message is always going to sound generic, and your marketing is never going to work, or you're going to struggle like crazy. If you use the same message to reach out to a real estate agent that you used to reach out to a dentist, and you use the same one for gyms, like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, again, you don't want to be that general practitioner. Like, they can choose 50 other video people to go with, and probably half of them are going to be way cheaper than you, right? Or maybe even 5 of them are going to do it for free because they just graduated film school or got a new camera and now they call themselves a filmmaker, right? So again, if you compete on the price, you're going to get fucked. If you compete on the video quality, like, you're also going to get fucked. There's going to be other people who may not be cheaper than you, but they got better video quality, right? So you need to, if you want to just make things easy for yourself, you want to niche down and become that brain surgeon in your market. And again, this does not mean that you need to work with that niche for the rest of your life here, right? So let's just give some basic example, show you what I mean with this here. So again, there's multiple levels of looking at a niche, right? So again, you could go after the entire market, which is like, hey, we do video production for small businesses, or like, for like, no matter what you say, if it's not a specific market, you don't have a niche. So that's where, again, you don't need to do that for the rest of your life, but especially, and you don't need to change your entire website copy either. Your website could still be like a somewhat generic portfolio with all of your different works, but you could have different sub pages or landing pages, quote unquote, for these specific types of videos, right? Maybe you do some e-commerce product videos, right? Or you focus on helping coaches, consultants, or like info products, right? So this would be info products, might be a sub niche, and this would be digital, well, actually physical products, and this is digital products, right? So these might be sub markets, digital products. And just by niching down, it looks like I fucked things up here. Just by niching down, you're gonna have it so much easier when it comes to not just what do I say and how do I sell it, what do they even need. It's gonna be so much easier to also, again, 10x your freaking income, because just think about it. If there's another guy, again, like let's look at it in a different way of visualizing this. This is the same diagram. I still can't decide which one works better here. But this is where, let's make sure you guys see that, where again, you could go after all markets, or you niche down one level where you focus on working with e-commerce brands, right? Any products that are getting sold. And literally just had a call here with the other day with, for example, who was it here? Dean. He just joined the beta group. We were brainstorming some ideas of different niches, and like fashion was a keyword that kept popping up there, right? So that's where diversing your content through. Yeah, glad we agree there, Mr. Intake. Cool. So yeah, that's where, again, if you niche down one level, like e-commerce, you want to maybe ask yourself further, like what are specific products or themes that you would like shooting, right? So do you like the outdoors? Do you like sports? Right, so that's where very closely we came to the conclusion that fashion might be something he wants to shoot. And to make it even more simple on us, we can level that down one level further. So there's different types of fashion, of course, that you could produce content for, or different brands you can help here, right? So, and they're gonna have specific problems, right? So again, to give the supplement company example that I gave at the beginning of the training here. If you're running a supplement store for vegan products, you're going to have a slightly different problems than a supplement store for like bulking up, right? So that's where these guys, they're going to be like a big problem for them is educating the potential customers on the benefits of their product. Why would they even need this, right? Hey, and if you're already vegan, like why is this better than the other vegan stuff? Or like, again, really a lot of like, they're gonna have different buyer personas. That's, I know that based off our research here for this market. Like a big problem that they have is, again, educating the customers on the potential benefits and targeting the different buyer personas, right? There's different people who buy vegan products. There's some people who do it to save the environment, some people who do it like me because they want to stay healthy, and other people who do it maybe to save the oceans or whatever, right? So again, by niching down here, and this was the fashion example with activewear, we can target specific problems that we can help them with, right? So by focusing on e-commerce fashion brands that sell activewear gear, there's a shit ton of those that we can help solve specific problems, right? So again, that doesn't mean we're going to work for the rest of our life in this market, but we're going to get our first initial case study here, right? Which is like a video that's actually producing results. And then we're going to package that up here. And that's going to be as easy as cake to go to anybody else in this market and show them, hey, we recently helped another person just like you do this thing to solve the exact problem we know you have. Of course, that's not how you're saying it, right? But this could be, again, that dentist example. We helped another dentist in the area get this result. Or, hey, we helped another activewear company see an X% increase in sales. And again, they're going to see a company that is just like them, that had the problem just like theirs, and they are definitely going to close there, right? So at that point, again, you can package up those case studies maybe and branch out into the entire fashion market and then produce videos or content and sign clients in that market, right? So that's the kind of the niche levels, how I look at it. And the easier you want to make it on yourself, the more of that brain surgeon you want to become, the more you want to niche down, right? So instead of going after all markets, look at, hey, what are some general markets you could look at? Maybe e-commerce, physical products. And again, we had the idea of sports, for example, Wikipedia list of sports, right? So literally, like, if you like sports, literally just look at this list here. Like all of these here: ice sports, golf, football, fishing, dog sports, cue sports, running, sailing, snow, skiing, sled. Like all of these things, they need products, right? There's products. I'm not gonna donate here. There's products that are getting sold for these niches. There's also coaches, consultants, or digital products, right? A course on how to up your golfing game, right? So maybe even software, right? So these are, again, the level 1 niche. You niche down to the maybe what it is that they're selling, or their, again, this is pretty much their let's copy this over. This is pretty much the delivery system, right? That's where I'm saying it always applies for everything when we look at these. Oh Jesus, when we look at these systems here. Excuse me. We want to look at, hey, what service delivery system do you want to maybe niche down on, right? And e-commerce is a service delivery system, right? They're shipping products. Digital products, that's a service delivery system. Or software as a service, right? So that might be your level 1 niche, right? But then you can look at, again, there's other ones, of course, as well. And then, again, you can niche down even further, right? So within e-commerce, what brands would you want to be working with? And again, ask yourself, like, don't make this for the money. Like I keep telling this to my clients as well. Like, again, you need to find something that you want to be working with for the rest of your life, potentially, right? Who would you love shooting content for? What do you spend your time and energy on, right? Check your YouTube watch history. Check your browsing history. What books are you reading and buying? Where do you spend your time and money, right? And look at, hey, how can you maybe align that niche with again, your passions as well. So again, here I was talking with Dean, and he loves sports and fashion. So again, of course, we're going to go with activewear potentially to begin with. And then there's all of these again. How do you, now when you ask, now that you set that niche, which is the first step here, right? The target, it is going to be as easy as cake to research their problems. Literally, you type it in, right? So e-commerce marketing problems. E-commerce marketing strategy. Or vegan marketing strategy. Vegan marketing problems. Literally just go through these fucking things, and like you'd be surprised as to, like, if I do this with my clients, like within like half an hour we find so much gold on these niches just based off some basic searches, right? So vegan marketing, the ultimate guide, or like that's strategy. You're usually going to get some good ideas of the problems as well, because usually you only have strategies to fix some problems. Like, as I told you, people really only do anything. They wouldn't get outside the fucking bed if they wouldn't want to get away from their pains or towards their desires. Otherwise, you're just going to keep lying in bed, do nothing. So, again, with their strategies, there's a problem, right? And this already shows you what you could include in your offer as well. So, e-commerce marketing strategies, right? Original content, like I know user-generated content is a huge thing, right? So I don't know, vegan supplements, Instagram. Let's say there was a store that you're working with, Dr. Vegan. I don't know. Let's say we're working with him. Then big problem might be like, hey, he doesn't have the time to create new content or whatever. Then again, this is not a product here, but you could look at people who tag them with a product and just literally use some of that and repurpose that content, which is in marketing lingo or the e-commerce people, they call it UGC, user-generated content. So again, that might be an idea of what you can include in your offer and all of that. But that, again, always derives from the problem. What problem do they even have? And again, they want to get the conversions up, or again, whatever that is. It's going to be specific. The further you level down, the more of a brain surgeon you become, right? So down here, you're literally just giving people pills for their headache, right? Then here you might, I don't know, start to look at their belly stuff. And here you start to actually, I don't know, take the belly apart. And here you're actually, I don't know, I'm not a doctor. So this would be the brain surgeon, right? They're doing the most craziest shit. So again, the more you niche down, again, if you put yourself in the perspective of the business owner, like, well, why the fuck would you go with any of the other guys who don't focus or haven't produced anything similar in this niche? If there's another guy who is literally focused on helping, again, just had a call with somebody here yesterday where we were looking at potentially, hey, coaches, consultants, or digital products, and more specifically, the dating industry there, right? There's a lot of coaches and consultants, and then we could niche that down even further, right? We could help, let me just get that big icon, zoom in further. We could find dating coaches that are on YouTube, right? So like if you're a dating coach that's mainly doing blogging, you're gonna have different problems than a dating coach on YouTube, right? And then those YouTube people, like they're always surprised whenever I show any of my clients here. When we look at any YouTubers, it's pretty much always the case. They're all of their marketing outside of YouTube just freaking sucks. So oh yeah, I got to check in with Jacob here. He just signed up for the beta the other day, and he had a call with a big YouTuber here. Gonna have to ask him how that went here, but basically he was this YouTuber here was looking for a new video guy, and then now the guy who signed up for a beta here, Jacob, he got a call with him to work for him as a video guy. But when I looked at his website and his store, which I think is right here, it's an absolute mess. They don't have any retargeting code or pixels installed to run these retargeting ads where, hey, if somebody watches or checks out, I can't find even the link to the fucking store here. But yeah, just trust me on that. Their marketing was absolutely horrible. And again, if you help working with a YouTuber and you help him crack the code where it might be just literally going to his channel, and I closed it out, literally just setting up some very basic retargeting ads where you just set it up where like, hey, anybody that subscribed to this YouTube channel or anybody that watched the videos in the last 30 days, let's show him some ads and drive traffic to his merch store. Literally 14 million views in the last 30 days. This is 30 days right here, right? So that's what I call a fucking retargeting audience. Just in the last 7 days, that's 3 million people that could be seeing like his merch advertisements and driving traffic to his store, right? So that's a very specific problem now, right? And this is not a dating coach, obviously, right? But that's a specific problem that pretty much only YouTubers have, right? So if you now fix that, you go to another dating coach and you show them how you've done that for the other one, like they're gonna close within seconds. They're gonna be like, yo, where do I sign up? Here's my credit card, right? Well, maybe not like that, but you know the idea, right? So that's how you become that freaking brain surgeon and stop being that general practitioner. Let me know if that makes sense, guys. I'll drop your questions in the chat. Unmute yourself if you're on Zoom. And of course, Varun, we're going to go through this in detail tomorrow. Let's put that here. All right. So that is niching down or becoming that brain surgeon. So that was a lot again. Just going to clean things out a little bit here so I can actually give this to you guys after the call and it somewhat makes sense, hopefully. Let's, I don't know, put that up here, put the little diagram up there, the business systems, we're going to put that right next to that. And then we'll put the beautiful process drawing here. Next time I'll just use the default shapes and text tool so people actually see things. But as you're starting to see, hopefully it's always the same process, right? We always set a target. Based off that, we figure out what problems do they have so we can create a message they actually care about, get them from some form of system or method to get that message in front of them. And this could be your video content, right? Could be anything. That's the inputs. We process things by uploading videos or whatever the process is. And then output is hopefully your desired result. Or again, you look at that feedback and ask yourself why, put in new inputs and test out the process again. So yeah, and that applies also, of course, for your niche, right? You go out there, you start to reach out to some of these activewear brands or these dating coaches, and you see how things are going, right? So again, that's where you start to test out your message. But at the same time also, hey, do you even enjoy working with these guys, right? So I had a vegan client before who was working with some restaurants just because we thought it would be some good, easy money opportunity because there was some... They were all locked down because of COVID. We had some SMS marketing software. But then after 1 or 2 weeks of reaching out to these brands, he started to realize like, yeah, hey, I don't want to work with these unhealthy restaurants. And that's, of course, again, feedback as well, right? So the input was on niche. The process was actually going out there, reaching out. The output was him realizing he doesn't want to do it. So there we go. All right. So now, next up, how to 10x your sanity. So at this point, again, you should have everything basic when it comes to value and income, right? Understanding business, understanding marketing, understanding that you cannot help everybody, right? And if you try and help everybody, you're going to get fucked. So that is that. Cool. So now how to 10x your sanity. That's a cool one. So again, key part to this is, of course, once you understand this setup here, and really start to systemize your business, you're going to be able to eliminate, automate, and delegate things. So the idea is, again, your job is, again, literally just pulling up some screenshots. If you have not signed up, watch this full masterclass yet, again, pushrec.com/beta, you're definitely missing out there. So yeah, there's the link again. Sign up there to get some more juicy info on this here. But again, to sum this up, your job as a business owner is to manage your business and not waste your time on mindless tasks and activities that could be, first of all, eliminated, right? Really, anything that's not actually driving results for you or your clients, you can eliminate, right? If you don't need to do it, why the fuck are you doing it, right? I keep giving the example, if you're shooting real estate videos, you're not going to need some 4K VR 360 drone if all they need is some basic photos. And again, let's just think about it. If you're not that brain surgeon and you don't really think about it and you just sell them the video which they think they need, they're going to post that on their social media, waiting and praying for people to check it out, right? But if you don't have a marketing system in place or a really strategy to make sure that people are actually going to see that content and get on the other end buying, then of course, what strategy do you think is going to get results? The one where you have that 4K 360 VR drone video of the property, or the one where it's literally just some phone photos, but we are running ads targeted to people in this zip code looking for properties right now? What do you think is going to work better? The 4K VR 360 3D whatever drone video, or the smartphone video that is targeted to people in this zip code looking for properties right now? And again, like, why are we even doing it then? So in most cases, a lot of things related to video quality can be eliminated, but really anything that is not clearly and exactly contributing to driving results, you do not need to be doing it. You don't need a logo. You don't need a fancy brand name. Nobody cares about that. That is not driving results. Don't spend time building out that perfect logo. Don't spend time brainstorming that brand name if you're spending more than half an hour. You could have spent that time reaching out to potential clients or brainstorming some new messages that you can then reach out to your clients and test out, right? Focus on actual revenue producing activities. Everything else can be eliminated. You don't need that shit. So yeah, that's the first thing, rant over. And if you cannot eliminate it, then the first thing you should ask yourself is, can I automate this thing, right? So if there's software systems or tools that can do the task, then you want to automate anything that is possible. Like, why on earth would you, like, if you're onboarding a new client, right? Looking back at our systems here, gotta make that a little bit larger, I can't zoom in here. Looking back at our systems here, there's a shit ton of things that can be automated, right? As you already saw here, the onboarding process, right? It's going to be, if you're selling a specific service to a specific type of audience, it's going to be the exact same questions or process every single time you onboard the client, right? If you're helping them push the content out on social media, they need to add you as an admin to Instagram, to Facebook. Maybe they need to set up their Facebook ad account. They need to add their credit card there so you can start running targeted ads. And whatever that may be, it might be a like step-by-step process that's the exact same shit every single time. So instead of doing that manually every single time or getting on phone calls and doing that with a client, you might want to record a video and just like have an automated onboarding process where as soon as you sign a client, you might have a kind of like, this used to be my old onboarding funnel, where it's literally just it's a video that shows them, hey, here's what to expect from the process. And then it's literally just kind of an onboarding funnel. They go to the next step. There's a little survey that they fill out. It shows them like, hey, here's how you can add me as an admin. If you don't have an account yet, this is how you can create one. And like literally just by recording that video once, like it's like not full on automation, right? But like, well, it actually is. But like you can take things even further where you can then automatically, as soon as they they submit that information on that funnel, you can automatically add that to your task management system and move it to the next step where you automatically delegate it, right? Maybe you have a virtual assistant who then, through the automation, right? Again, first of all, you're eliminating that onboarding phone call and you're automating it by creating some automated video series potential. Like, again, this is just one idea of things you can automate, right? This could be even literally just an automated SMS that goes out after the first discovery call with a client, just saying thank you and sending them maybe a link to your portfolio again or whatever to warm them up, right? Just to get another touch point in, or all of those little things where you keep doing things over and over again, and a robot could do it. And there's so many tools. And again, like if you're joining this beta here, you're gonna get literally like all of the plug and play automation tools that I've been building with my clients over the past 2-3 years here. And that's where literally you can connect these apps together and say like, hey, if this happens, do this. And like a lot of creators, I see them use these basic tools like if this then that, and that's not even scratching the surface as to what is possible. Like we literally have a fully automated content scheduling system. And yeah, anytime I do a to do something twice, I always ask myself, hey, do I need to even do this? And is there a way to automate it? And you are going to be surprised as to what is possible when it comes to automation when you start to look and really get into things here. Of course, if you don't nerd out like crazy like me on these things, you're not going to go and use tools like Integromat, what I just showed you. You might want to start with something simple, like if this, then that. That's a basic software. If this, then that. And that's where you can set up basic triggers, right? Maybe you have a task management system where, hey, if this, maybe you set the status of your video to review, and then the client automatically gets an email with a link to the video to review it, right? So you don't need to keep sending the same emails every single time you want to have something reviewed. And then maybe, hey, if the client did not respond yet, you could have an automated message going out again one day later, just bumping up that message to make sure you get your feedback in time, right? So that could be automated. You're constantly following up with clients, with prospects, potential clients, right? There's so many tasks that can be automated. And last but not least, if you cannot eliminate it, if you cannot automate it, then always ask yourself like, hey, is there any other person that could do this, right? Are you really the only person that could be doing this? And if not, is there a person that could do it at a better cost or a better value, right? Somebody who can just do it better than you, right? If you're not like an ad expert, then, or you don't like doing it, then why on earth are you doing it, right? So maybe you can find somebody that's not just cheaper, right? Because let's just be real, if you're working in the States or you're selling to clients in the States or Europe, you can find people from the Philippines, India, all of these other countries who are doing crazy good work, and they're going to be very affordable, and they might even have a better value than you as well, because that's what all they do all day, every day, right? They're not doing the video, they're just running the ads or whatever. So again, if you can't eliminate it, you can automate it, and if you can't automate it, you can delegate it. And if all of that is still not the case, then again, too bad on you. You probably have to do some more digging and research, and I can guarantee you there's other ways to automate and delegate pretty much 95% of what you're doing as a creative. Of course, the main high-level creativity, you can't and don't want to outsource that, right? But just syncing up the footage, right? Whenever I want to get a rough cut done, right? I just upload the video, the editor gets pinged, and you can automate all of that, right? And then delegate the rest. So yeah, that's the biggest sanity bringer, right? Like literally like 95% of the things you're doing, you don't even, like, first of all, you shouldn't be doing them, or you could automate them, or somebody else could be doing it. So yeah, really make a list of everything you're doing every day. Literally just ask yourself towards the end of every day, what did I do today that were non-revenue generating activities? Or is there somebody else that could be doing this better, right? What were non-CEO activities I've done today? Responding to your emails or whatever that may be. And again, you can get a virtual assistant for $3 to $5 an hour. Like most filmmakers, like again, they're running an expensive hobby, not looking at it as a business. So again, even if you now set up like a banger outreach system and a banger sales system, you're going to be very, very quickly capped when it comes to service delivery if you are selling video production and do it all by yourself, right? Of course, again, that's where other tools come in, right? I just showed you Canva. Canva has like a video functionality where literally, like, I don't know, let's just time it. Like, let's do 60 seconds. I'm going to do an ad for, I don't know, random niche generator. Random niche gene generator. I don't want that, right? So brainstorm niche ideas. I don't know. I'm just going to click this first one thing here, like Kanye. Okay, I guess that's not a niche, but yeah, again, you could rapping, right? Let's do like, it's probably like concert. Let's just, again, there's so many templates, and again, like, let's just choose that one. Then I want to get an image, like this was for Kanye, right? I haven't really used this myself. Like, again, that's why I outsource this. Like, if I'm a perfectionist, I always find things that I want to do in Photoshop or After Effects then, right? But again, if you teach this to your virtual assistant, then it's going to be as easy as cake. So elements, I guess, well, let's just do Kanye West PNG, right? And then Like literally, quick hack. By the way, if you see here on the images, you can hover and then you see if it's an actual PNG or not. Most of these are not gonna be. But that's again, that's where we have like an AI tool here, because literally, oh, it looks like he's in a PNG here. But with Canva, they have like an AI. Can I drop this here? I'm not even sure. Yeah, I would need to upload this, and then you just click here, edit image, you flip it out, apply the color scheme, and literally like that's what it might like. Again, this is not animated right now. Literally, you click on animate, and again, I'm not saying this is the cream de la cream or this is like all you gotta do, but this is where you can get started with, right? So like literally, it's no witchcraft to create some ad variations, and I haven't showed this in this call today here, but you just want to look at in the market what's working and what's not working. And again, there's so many things that you can easily automate and delegate here. I'll just show you here. So when it comes to running and creating ad variations or content variations, again, look at some big brands here. Let's look at some of these ads here. Like this is no witchcraft, right? It's literally the exact same photo. They maybe switch out the copy, or it's the exact same video, and literally they just flip out the headline and the first thing here. Oh, actually, it's not even a video. Look at that, right? But that might be, again, some basic split test variations that you could easily create, and you don't even need to do that shit yourself. You could have a step-by-step process where basically throughout the onboarding process, you ask the client for their font, for their color schemes. For all of that, you automatically load that into your project management tool, where automatically now your assistant is going to get a ping to start downloading all of their product photos and to start plugging and creating that into your brand templates. And then you can duplicate those templates out, create a whole bunch of variations, and you didn't even have to do anything. It's literally just again, we're eliminating that onboarding process, automating the information and data intake, and then we're delegating all of the content creation. And like, what are you doing now? You can get back to being a business owner and looking at your systems and build out the next system. Right? That's how you get back all of your sanity, all of your time, and you only need to be doing what you actually want to be doing. Yeah, hope that makes sense, guys. I mean, it sounds simple, it is simple, but it takes work, right? So it's not easy, it's simple. All right, I'm gonna switch out batteries real quick here one more time, and then we'll go through the rest here. You guys let me know what questions you have about the eliminate, automate, delegate section here. I'll leave this open. You can brainstorm this. And then, yeah, I'll show you the meme in the meantime. Back in a second. Okay. Sure. Sure thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pretty much every question you ask, I can always come back to this thing, man. Like, again, you build out the next system. Like, it's marketing, like getting leads in the door, it's sales, converting leads, or it's service delivery. Or it might be going back to the drawing board and mapping out a new target and different problems. But like that should be your job. Like, you should look at the high level, like to clarify this, like you should be the one like brainstorming and thinking about these things, and not the one down here doing all of that stuff, right? Like, that's where you get in, you set it up, and now you got an email outreach system where you're like, okay, this is the types of messages we send to these types of people, and you can outsource that, delegate that to somebody else, right? But you need to be the one, you're the CEO, right? You're going out there, you need to test things out, you need to get that message to work, you need to tweak that email until it actually works, and then you can zoom out again, right? So it's constantly like zooming in, getting this working, checking it off the box, zooming out again, looking at, hey, where's the next thing that's broken, constantly scanning, and like, hey, we're now getting leads into the door, but our sales conversion is not really too good, so let's maybe tweak our sales script a little bit. So you go back to the drawing board, you optimize the script a little bit based off the feedback again, right? You record those calls, or your sales guy, if you're not taking the calls anymore, he recorded the calls, and then you review those, and Again, you fix that again, then you zoom out again, you look at, hey, what's broken now? And it's constantly like zooming in, setting up the system, looking at, hey, are we getting the output that we want? If not, we'll feed that back in, look at different inputs we can put in, like different messages, or again, different niche that we're going after, the sales script, maybe a different process that we take there. And then again, testing things out again, zooming back in, back out. Yeah. Yeah, and day to day, you shouldn't be basically the goal is that you are not the one that is like scraping those leads off of LinkedIn or doing those like draining tasks. That's the end goal, right? You want to eliminate, automate, delegate as much as you can there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And that's gonna even like help you bring that income up because like if you think about it, like if you are the one that is like going through LinkedIn, adding those people and like those manual like copy and paste type tasks, then if you're like the main business owner, like you should be like paying yourself like I don't know, $50-$100 per hour roughly, right? So that's where then you could literally take somebody from the Philippines and show them the process, right? That's where we have that system. We show them the process, and then they can literally just take that for $3-5 an hour, do a good job. If they're not doing a good job, then it's your job again to look at in why is it not working and look at that feedback and tweak things together. So yeah, but yeah, it's always like yeah, it's always like either one of these. Like you want to look at things at a high level, and if something is not working, like your sales are just like again you're getting those leads in, but you're not getting those sales, then of course that's where you're looking in and building out some new systems or tweaking things. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but they're just sending the same message that you send, and if you haven't gotten any results before, then how? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you should be the thinker, and the people you hire there are the doers, right? But if you're not if you haven't done any thinking and you tell like, hey, you're I don't know, get me some clients, and you don't have that clear target, or again you don't have a system set up here, then they're just gonna like they're not gonna know what to do, right? You're yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean that's not to worry. That's why we're now working together here. We'll map things out here, and then we'll again that's always following the process. But yeah, that's the beauty of like when I build out this diagram. Now pretty much whenever somebody asks a question, I can open it up because it's mostly that. Cool. All right. Yeah, any other question you had on that? All right, awesome. We'll keep going here. Cool, we got some more stuff here. What do we have? Oh yeah, we have systemizing your business and life, right? We're all about them systems, you know that at this point, guys, right? So actually, let's unlock the last one here as well, the feedback loop, because we already talked about that as well, but with a more ugly drawing here. So let's get the pretty one up. But with whatever we're doing here, guys, like it's like either like setting up a microsystem or connecting it to the bigger macro systems, right? And even if that is too abstract for you, again, like if this is your first time hearing me blabbering on about his systems, then of course, don't overthink it. With whatever you are doing in business, you are going out there and you are getting feedback. There's no way you can fail in business if you look at the feedback and you ask yourself questions to again potentially improve things, right? So this is where the feedback loop comes in. Let me just copy that over so we got that here as well. So literally with whatever you're doing, right? Whether that is again reaching out to potential clients through email, or it's taking those sales calls, or it is actually getting clients results through your service delivery. With whatever we are doing, we are always constantly any of these steps here. So you are always at 1, 2, 3, or 4 here, right? So, and it's a constant cycle. So no matter what happens, you are either right now, like the thing is, most people just get stuck at the feedback stage, and they think they fucked up and like, oh shit, I'm not getting results. So like you, Varun here, you hired the assistant potentially there, and you're like, oh shit, he's not getting results, right? But that's the feedback. Now we want to look at, hey, so what messages has he been sending, right? So this is where we now start to ask ourselves questions like, what messages has he been sending? What's got responses? What messages did get no responses? Why were we not split testing things? Were we split testing things? Did we send separate messages? Again, like just asking different questions so we can then create a new initial hypothesis. And this is, again, this could be the niche that you're going after. You're testing out, hey, do I even like working with restaurants? Do I even like working with the dentists? And again, we go out there, we test it out, and we then gather that feedback where we then see, oh shit, like the message we're sending, we're not getting any bookings here, right? We're getting some responses, but we're not getting any bookings. So how come, right? And then we go out there, we create a new hypothesis, which again could be some different message variations. It could be a different niche that we're going after. It could be a slight tweak on your sales script, depending on like, hey, you listened in on those sales calls, and whenever you said this thing, people got turned off. So hey, like let's maybe, hey, why was that the case? We might come to the conclusion that when we say like we'll do Facebook ads management, Instagram, like they don't like these keywords because they got burned by some other kids selling them some social media marketing services. So that's where, hey, my hypothesis might be now like, hey, let's maybe reword things a little bit differently, tweak our sales script a little bit. So again, that's the new hypothesis. Then we go out to the market, we take some more sales calls and test it out, see how it's actually working. Because no amount of hiring scientists or getting your freaking whiteboard mapped out and like none of the thinking is actually going to replace real life feedback. You need to get out there, you need to test this process, get it in the real world and see the actual feedback that you are gonna get, right? And that is the biggest problem. Is school and society has been conditioning you every single day to think and feel that doing something wrong is failing. Please just remove that out of your vocabulary. It's called feedback. Failure is feedback, right? Like literally the only way that you can fail with whatever I'm showing, like literally that is the reason also why I'm giving this insane guarantee here, guys, because literally like this is like, I hope you're starting to see this, how it's just straight up logic, where if you follow this process here and you continuously tweak and optimize things, the only way that you can fail, literally the only way you can fail is either by not getting out there and testing things or by not looking at that feedback, right? If you're not tracking your response rates, or your meeting booked rates, or like for every X amount of sales calls, how many sales are actually going to convert, then how the fuck are you going to know what's working, what's not working? If you're not recalling your sales calls, or whatever that may be, then how the fuck are you going to know what's working, what's not working? Or even if you're helping your clients now with the distribution stuff, right? So if you're testing things out, but you're not tracking things, right? You're not looking at the analytics on Google Analytics or Facebook Analytics or wherever you're posting the content, right? You're not actually looking at the data like, hey, this stuff took off and this stuff didn't work. And then you're asking yourself, based off that, those questions to come up with a new hypothesis. That is the only way to fail, guys. Literally, like, I hope that makes sense here. So that is, again, the feedback loop. And again, this applies to each of these steps here. Wherever you're at, you want to ask yourself, what macro system am I working on right now, right? Like you're probably working down here with some form of micro system, which is connected to some form of macro system. And ask yourself, where in this feedback loop am I at right now? Like if you have your hypothesis, like that's the main thing. If you're working with me, of course, again, I'm going to supply you with all the workflows and questions you would ever need to, again, ask those questions, create that hypothesis, and actually go out there, show you again this step-by-step process to actually getting out there and testing things. But this is as easy as just going out there, sending those messages. But the main thing people always get stuck on is the feedback stage and then turning that into a new hypothesis. They give up and they think after sending 50 emails and getting no clients that it doesn't work. Well, you got to stay persistent. You got to look at the data. So again, this applies for every system, every step in business and life, right? There's no way of failing. The faster you go out there and fail, the more feedback you're getting. It's awesome. Again, the more you fall down, the more you're gonna learn. So it's as easy as that. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Like this is key to your mindset as well. And yeah, with that, again, that concludes us to the fact that we want to again systemize your business and life, right? So what do you mean with this? So there's a bunch of different ways to do that, of course, right? So again, from all the way down to basic tools you can use here, down to goal setting, more on that in a second here, maybe even calendar blocking. Actually, I wanted to build this out way more here now. I've been doing more drawing than writing here. Calendar blocking, again, even cooking. Literally, I see people waste so much time on, like, literally, like, that's another big thing, like, what you put into your body, right? It's always like, I still waiting for somebody to argue here, but you're not going to be able to, because this is just the cold, hard logic and truth. Everything in life is a system. Has an input, it has a process, and has an output. And if you constantly put shit food into your body, it's going to be processed by your body, and the output is going to be brain fog, no focus, constant distraction, whatever the frick that may be, right? This applies also for your food, right? And the biggest problem I see right there is people, like, they don't have any systems for anything. Like, they every time they like, every single day they're thinking about, oh, what am I gonna eat today? And then that's gonna waste you like 20 minutes thinking about it, and then another 30 minutes cooking it, and another hour eating it, and then you gotta do the dishes, and like all of that shit adds up, and you gotta do that decision. They make that same decision every single day. They are asking themselves, whoa, what should I eat today? What am I gonna eat tomorrow? Like, just all of that mental, like, brain function is getting lost there, which you could just get a system for that. I always eat the same shit, and when I cook something, it's I eat the same stuff for 2 to 3 days. I cook once, and the next 3 days I know what I'm eating. I don't even need to cook, and I don't even eat anything throughout the day. I'm completely, I eat one meal a day. I don't eat gluten, no sugar, only drink water and coffee. That's my thing, right? But again, you need systems for everything. And if you I'm not saying that you need to be like as a maniac as me and have this like mapped out and like write out like, this is what I'm gonna eat, this is my eating system or whatever, right? So just make sure you maybe ask yourself like, hey, what do I like eating? How can I prepare things a little bit more? How can I, when I go shopping, make sure I get all the stuff I need for the next 1 or 2 weeks? So I don't need like some of the people I speak with, they're like going out shopping every other day because they always forget something. Oh, I gotta get something to eat today. Like, well, what the hell? You are wasting so much time. Just think about it. If you're spending like an hour a day like cooking and thinking about food every day, that's, well, I don't need to do, well, okay, it's 365 hours, right? But that's 21,000 minutes you're wasting every fucking year. Like, you could have spent that time doing other things. So like just eating, you can have systems for that, right? Like, literally, I have my list of stuff I eat, and then it's always the same stuff, right? It's like I vary between like I don't know, probably 7 to 10 different recipes, and that's all I eat. And I only eat once a day. If I'm eating throughout the day, all it is raw fruit, raw vegetables, and nuts and seeds, right? Like, nothing that's gonna get focus out of me, right? So that's the main reason why I'm doing it. I just don't want to get, I just want to stay healthy. I don't want to get sick, and I just want to stay focused. And you guys know what, like, you might not know what it is, what it feels like to actually have full focus. Eat completely clean for a week. Take care of your sleep, right? I've got like an Aura ring to track my sleep as well, and like I'm going to show you some tools in a second that will help you with that as well. But everything is connected, right? If your sleep is fucked up, you're eating shit, then like you're not going to get shit done on at work, right? So again, even if it's just thinking about what are the things I might like to eat, just preparing some shopping lists that you can then just copy and paste, or know that you are going to cycle between these foods, and don't like you constantly get up, eat something, and like, again, you probably don't even know what it feels like to be completely fully focused and not have like any of this like wheat or gluten products fog up your brain. So yeah, rant over, sorry guys, but this is one of the biggest things. And like, again, like literally like all of the people that already here joined the one-on-one coach, and they can probably attest to that too. Like, I preach a lot about stuff that might not even be business related, but it is so much more important than any of these. Like, people always ask like, oh, what's the best email outreach? Like, again, there is no fucking best email message. Like, first of all, as you guys already know, it depends on the target and all of that, and 99% of the people out there, they're like fucking zombies scrolling through their phones. Like, okay, sorry, I need to calm down a bit. So like literally, most people, when I see them out there, it's driving me, it's sad. Let's just sum it up like that. So yeah, you don't want to be one of those, I call them non-playable characters, right? You want to take control, take responsibility, and realize that shit is connected. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you like think you got everything sorted out and you're constantly eating pizza every day and burgers, you're not gonna get shit done. You're gonna like you're not gonna have a chance against like my brain if it's like been fasting for the past 15 hours. So yeah, rant over. Sorry guys. But yeah, that's one thing. And then like calendar blocking, right? Just making sure that again there's specific days, right? Set theme days potentially, right? Where maybe on one day you're only doing marketing, on one day you're doing only sales, so that way you're not switching between tasks like a maniac. Open up your fucking Gmail and all of that stuff, which goes hand in hand with the go-to thing I tell all my clients in every first call. You always want to plan tomorrow today, otherwise you're gonna get sucked into somebody else's plan. They're gonna like literally your email is pretty much like an agenda of other people, what they want to do from you or what they want to have from you. You want to like again don't start your day, open up your email, or even worse, social media. Like get that fucking toxic shit off of your phone. Like you don't like look me in the eyes and tell me that you need Instagram, Facebook, or any of those apps on your phone. You don't. You having those on your phone is stealing your time. It's stealing your mental cognition. You are the product. They are selling your awareness, your attention away, and you are losing it. So like, sorry guys for just let's be real for a moment here. These fucking tools are optimized to keep you addicted, make you addicted, and steal your fucking time. You are literally the product. Ask yourself, if it is free, you are the product. So yeah. Plan tomorrow today. Shut that shit off. I'm going to show you some tools in a second that will help you there, because literally all of these algorithms are optimized to suck you in and steal your time, energy, and ultimately ruin your fucking life. So yeah, simple calendar blocking might help with that, and actually just planning tomorrow today so you don't wake up scrolling through your phone and getting sucked into some fucking algorithm. So yeah, instead you just sit down, plan tomorrow today, have certain theme days. You schedule deep work sessions, right? So where, hey, throughout the first half of the day, you're gonna maybe do 3 90-minute deep work sessions where literally you shut off everything else. You put on some focus music, more on that in a second, what I like to use there, and you shut it all off. You maybe meditate for 10 minutes before. That might sound woo-woo, but like if be my guest, don't meditate. Be a constant slave of your thoughts and think that what's going on in your mind is actually you, and constantly be enslaved by your unconscious thoughts, right? Like literally 90% of what you do is literally unconscious programming. So yeah, if you don't want to be in control of that and constantly think that you are your thoughts and act like have your reptilian part of the brain take over, then okay, don't meditate. But you might want to again work on your awareness, work on your mental state, and just doing that, you're gonna get so much better results. Yes, sure. Sure thing. Mm-hmm. 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 Yes. Mm-hmm. You gotta catch it. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's like a muscle that needs stretching. So that's also why the first book I gave you guys for the beta stuff is like Atomic Habits. It's like all of those little tweaks and little things that go a long road, and it takes a while to see that feedback, right? So just by meditating 10 minutes a day, like you're not gonna really see a difference after 1 or 2 weeks. But if you do that for multiple months, and it's just like meditation, like most people like completely overthink it as well. Like just the fact that you're sitting there, and even just some basic method where you just focus on your breath and the feeling of your nose and how the breath goes through. Just the fact that when you catch your thoughts, that's not a bad thing. That's the goal of meditation. You're constantly, oh, I can't get my mind to shut off. Like, that's good. You can watch your thoughts and like try and bring it back to the breath, right? So just that little exercise is gonna again bring you so much more awareness throughout the day, where then you can then start to catch yourself in that programming. Because as I said, like 95% of whatever you do is pretty much like, as you also said, like subconsciously programmed. It's literally just habits, right? It's literally you get the cue, right? You get home from work, and then there's the action and the reward, right? So that's usually always how it goes. And you want to set up ways where you can again tweak that, or just be aware of what is happening, right? So yeah, otherwise you're gonna be a slave of your subconscious. You're gonna be stressed out, not gonna know what to do, what to focus on, or you're not gonna have the focus. And yeah, so yeah. Mm. Yes, yes. Oh yeah, yeah. For sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. That's where like the most important thing here is again, you plan tomorrow today, and you don't have like a huge agenda list there, right? So maybe again, I like to look at first of all like three things I'm grateful for, right? Just so you have like some basic why it is that you're doing as well. And grateful is not like a natural feeling if you don't ask yourself. Like literally the other day, like I saw some dude who's blind, and like I'm fucking great. Like that's the worst thing I could imagine, dude. Like like I don't know. Like I've got a I don't know, when it comes to my eyes, I'm like paranoid anyways, but that's some basic thing. And I've never even been to the hospital. That's another thing. Or like I don't know, nobody's got sick in the last year, or whatever. So like that's one thing. Like three things, and then like what would make today great, right? So you want to set that intention, and then like today's 5 things, right? So today's 5 things, right? So that's where at the beginning of the day I sit down, write down 3 things I'm grateful for, and then set that intention of what would make today great. So like which would be that big thing you want to get done. If it's just that one thing, that would be awesome. And then maximum of like 5 things, right? I need to like I don't know. Yeah, it's just like I don't know, where's my notepad? Got little notepads. Like I don't know, it's like one little thing, just writing down these 3 things and then the 5 things, and that definitely helps. What I do at the end of the day as well, just like 3 things I learned. Because I'm constantly fucking learning every day. If I didn't learn something, it hasn't been a good day. And then 3 things I could improve, right? That's additional stuff. The most important thing for you though is like, hey, today's 5 things and what will make today great, right? If you again really set that intention, don't have a huge long to-do list, and then just hammer your way through. And that's where if you again set those theme days here, where let's say one day you're only doing the sales calls, then or only doing marketing, exactly, you're gonna get way more done. Because if you switch from like, hey, here's a sales call, now I'm writing up a little bit of content. Like when I'm creating content, I'm planning, writing, scheduling things out all day, and then within like one day or so, I've got like 30 days of content done. And then yeah, it's like if you get into the zone, right? You've got Brain FM. I'll show the other guys here in a second. I'll put on more music, put an incense stick, 10 minutes meditation. And if you like really get in the zone and like there's no other tabs open, it's literally just you and the task, then you know how it's like when you like you get in the zone. There's no time, it's you're just doing, and then all of a sudden it's like, I don't know, 3 a.m. and I've been working for hours on end. So mhm. Oh yeah, yeah, that's the problem. Hmm. Yes. Hmm. Yes. Yeah, it's all connected, right? If you take care of your like what you put into your body. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And a good book I can recommend on this topic is Deep Work. If like, shows you how like fucking bullshit the whole multitasking thing is as well. Because every time you switch from task 1 to task B, you're gonna like, it takes you at least 45 minutes to get into the zone again, right? Yeah. So like you're constantly like, what you could get done in like 3 hours of focused laser on just one task, you can get done what other people are getting done in like 1 work week, where they're constantly pinging from this tab to the next thing, and now they're doing this and responding to that client and got a WhatsApp message and Facebook. That's another thing. Like literally, as you know, like all of my clients and my team members, they're all on Slack. If you want to reach me, you need to message me on Slack. Like I'm not gonna check my Facebook messages, WhatsApp, and email, and like all of these little things. Like everything adds up and it's all connected, right? Like you want to guide your attention like a hawk, right? So yeah, so that's the biggest one right there. Like again, planning tomorrow, today, setting like certain theme days where it's like only sales today, only marketing, and then you really set that intention, schedule those deep work sessions. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, just write it down. Even if it's on like a sticky note and you put it on the thing, right? So, and that for to me, just having it physical helps as well. I wish I had my fucking note thing. It's on the other ring. Like to me, I like that as well. Like I've got a really like it's made of leather. Like I'm a sucker for notepads. So like, but just putting it on the physical, like as you know, I'm a sucker for like systems and tools as well. So of course I've got it all mapped out in my ClickUp workspace, which is like a thing that we're not even have here, right? It's like project management tools, but just having it on my desk and ready, and like I wake up and it's written out, like that's the biggest difference. Whenever and I don't do it every day, and the days I fuck it up, I instantly regret it the next day, or I like it's the exact same thing as you mentioned. Like I feel like I'm getting a lot of shit done, and then at the end of the day, when I look at what are the 3 things I got done today, I'm like, it's like blank. What did I actually do? I responded to a bunch of client emails and like I don't know, and that's where of course you need to reflect on that as well, and that's where like the effective goal setting comes in perfectly, right? So like on a day-to-day level, you want to like stay in the zone and focus on like, well, the little task I need to get done here was the big thing that we're doing this week, and that's where of course some good goal setting is gonna help with a lot as well. So that's where of course we're gonna do that together here as we're working together, but that's where I'll show you here in a second here. Basically, again, you want to have goals, then you want to have key results, then you want to have projects, and then the tasks. You don't need to be as crazy as me here, but we've covered this in some past trainings before. Let me just see if we got something here. I think I showed this Dean in the last call. But yeah, I did. So yeah, if you want to sit down, like you're not doing this every day, of course. You sit down like quarterly or yearly and you set your objectives or goals. Like what is it that you want to achieve here? Like this example was to decentralize the business. He didn't want to do everything himself, right? And then we can reverse engineer that. And we actually, like, again, I'm giving you guys a high level overview here. I've done a 90-minute session on just goal setting. So like if you haven't signed up, get in the beta here, then check out the bootcamp when you get the link to access this here. And that's where we where is it? How to plan and achieve your goals. We went in detail on this process here. But this is going to help you like never be stressed out, because you always know long term, this is the objective we want to achieve. And then you can break that down to the actual measurable, that's the keyword here, and controllable key results. And those you set monthly or quarterly. So let's say if your goal was to get your first paying client or sell your first retainer client, then of course that's a great goal, but you don't have any control if that's going to happen or not. So that's where we want to have some different key results, which would be, in this case, if he wants to decentralize the business, it was like a drone business here. He needs to hire 3 other pilots, maybe create a training program showing the other pilots how they're currently shooting their drone videos, right? This was something very niche. But let's stay a bit more specific here, which relates for all of you guys. If the goal is to get first retainer clients, you don't have that under control. But what do you have under control? You have under control like send 200 emails per month, potentially. Right? And maybe post 3 times per week on LinkedIn, right? So that might be like specific targeted post 3 times per week targeted content, right? Not just any content. Like again, let's say we want to book a first get first dating coach retainer client potentially, right? And then we would put in here post targeted content, like, hey, this is if you're a coach, this is the content that you need to create, right? And then if you post some of that content, you send those emails, and then maybe another key result might be to connect with 10 leads per day, right? And then those are the direct things we have under control. And that's where we can now reverse engineer, okay, to make that happen, to send those 200 emails per month, what are the separate projects we need to do? Of course, we need to create initial outreach campaign, right? And that's then what you plan on a weekly basis, and the daily task, that's the big things you want to get done today. So, right, maybe your job today or this week is to complete this project here. And then that's all the little things that you need to do, right? You need to scrape the leads, deduplicate the results, or like all of those little steps. And you don't like this is again up to you how granular or how not granular you want to be. As long as you again know, okay, this is a long-term big goal, and as long as you have those kind of measurable things, key results here. I mean, that's the way that businesses call it. Again, key results, right? So the measurable things. As long as you have that, and then then you don't need to worry anymore, because you map that out once, you set the objective and key results, and then on a day-to-day and weekly basis, you just look at, hey, well, the projects I needed to get done, and again, today it might be this big project here, and then all the little things, that's what you do then, right? But yeah, exactly. Like the projects and the tasks, like that's the VA stuff then, right? You set them up with the projects, the tasks, and then you can keep managing the key results on a higher level and all of that, right? So this is like, this process actually is for like big, large companies, and like this is literally how any large company out there, like just look up objectives and key results, or OKRs. And then this is literally how any big brand out there or business, they manage their teams and all of that. So. Yeah, there's of course there's going to be hundreds of these, and then these are maybe just the marketing team stuff, and then yeah, can get crazy there, of course. But I like to take that concept. Good. No, you don't. No, don't. Like, just as long as you get the concept of like that was for me the major breakthrough, is like I always set goals. Everybody always sets goals, but if you don't have key results on like controllable, like again, this is the idea, right? You have those objectives, you break that down to measurable, directly controllable key results, and from there think about what are the little things I need to make that happen, right? So now, instead of your goal being to get that retainer client, which is again still the goal, and it's a good goal to have, but you don't have any control over that, right? You don't have any control how many people are actually going to respond. Like that could be another thing. Like you wouldn't put in here like, hey, get 50 sales calls per month, right? We don't have that under control, right? We want to look at what is it that we have under control, map that out, maybe like do one afternoon session on the weekend, you map that out over the next 3 months, like what are the big things I want to get done, and then from there you can then reverse engineer. And if you want to like add out like different projects and tasks down here, I mean, that's up to you. I wouldn't, like, if you're not like me and like to plan everything in complete detail, then again, just having the objective and the key results, that will do. Right? You just want to know, hey, this is the number we're optimizing for here, right? So also with you being part of the beta here, again, we're going to set this up for you here, and then I'm going to keep you accountable, right? So that's how we have that guarantee as well, right? So we're going to go through the math, look at what is our hypothesis in terms of how we can get those bookings. And then again, to get those bookings, it's literally we set the key result, which might be 200 to 500 emails per month, and then are you doing it or not, right? So like that's how you want to set your goals and plan your weeks, right? So and then on a day-to-day basis, you don't really worry about that, and you're always knowing like, hey, the reason why I'm doing these small little shitty tasks here is because I want to, of course, get to that big goal. So yeah, that's the main idea, right? So again, from goals to key results to projects and to tasks. And projects and tasks, like you can combine those, right? As long as again you have a goal that is reverse engineerable by those key results. Because then, if you block in your calendar day by day, you don't need to worry about anything. You know where you want to be in a year from now. You know what the goal for this quarter is, which is in your case probably to get that first retainer client. And then you got your key result, which is I'm going to tell you, hey, you're going to need to send 20 messages a day. And then all you need to worry about when it comes to planning tomorrow today is like, hey, so I don't know, whatever the 5 things is that you need to do that day, which might be like set up your LinkedIn profile. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, focus is just no distraction. Put it on its head when are you not focused if you're distracted. So look at all the little things that can distract you and eliminate them. Everything, right? So that's the idea here, right? That's why again I already gave you the tools here, but I wanted to show these in the call here as well because that's like again it's all connected and yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's your you are the process of your business, right? So like the inputs is the information you take in, the type of foods that you take in, right? It's your mindset as well, somewhat, right? And your mindset is shaped by the information and what you take in, right? But you are the process, right? So in your business usually. So that's where of course like hey, if you can't focus and like nothing's getting done here, like we're not gonna get anything out of this here, right? So give you the example of the call as well. Like no matter that's why you said like it might be a stupid question, but it's not like this is the more important than any of the marketing and sales stuff because no matter what I tell you in terms of like oh here's a little hack and you can get so many automated automations and like all of this crazy like little hacks and tricks. None of that matters if your like programming is fucked up. If you don't know, like if you don't have any focus to begin with, right? So, and again, what is focus is literally just getting rid of distractions, right? Because like again, we all have the exact same time in the day, right? We all have 24 hours, right? And that is pretty much again, time is we all have the same resource there, and your time is pretty much equal your focus if you're not getting distracted, right? And then there's all of these things that you could split your focus in, or you could again pour it all into one thing, and that's not a really good thing. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. As I said, like pretty much 99% of the people out there are pretty much like non-playable characters. They don't take any self responsibility. They are like they're just subconsciously controlled and programmed robots. Yeah. Yeah. No stress. I just responded to somebody here. Cool. So yeah, no, definitely. Like this is the most important thing, right? Again, like you wake up in the morning and you have a body and you do things with your body, right? And like it's like you focus on things or you don't. Like again, like that's all we have. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah, as much as I can. That's again the calendar blocking, right? So like I try and have this set up for that period, and if it doesn't happen, then it's mostly because I got distracted, right? Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. No, no, nobody's perfect, right? And like, that's why I fight so hard against this shit. Like these YouTube algorithms, they get me every single time, right? So that's why I got these tools here. So, so Yeah, everybody has their little thing, and like all these little matrix things they keep pulling you in. So yeah, but yeah, as long as good. Hmm. Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, but I've got my automatic routines for that. Like whenever I got like a sales call that's like important, like I light up my incense sticks and like again whatever that routine is. That's why yeah, again pretty much like again this is here like how much time we have, how much focus you put into things. Again, you could split it around all of these little things, or again you try and focus on just one thing. You're of course gonna get more done, but there's gonna be things that try and steer you away from that. So that's where of course you need to again that's where you need to realize that like pretty much again if you look at your all of your actions and your thoughts, pretty much like 95% of those here, these are all unconscious, right? Yeah, yeah, repetitive unconscious programming, right? So everything that you've been. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, and that's where over time you start to like identify more of those. Oh, there's this little thought that keeps coming up, and then if you do meditation, that's where you then like you take that out of there and you really look at it and maybe go into it and ask yourself why that might even be a problem. And then over time, like by just looking at it and focusing or being more aware of it, it's not gonna pop up as much, or it's eventually gonna even be gone and completely, right? So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sleep, food. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like that's the thing. Like again, there's several. Like again, you want to watch your sleep, your mental inputs, like your psychology, physical inputs, things that you consume, the food, spirituality is another thing, right? If you like, yeah, not gonna get too much in that here, the life training. But then again, your environment as well. Of course, if you again you have all of this on point, but then you got like no sunlight, like me in winter, I gotta watch out there. Like, yeah, like that might be another thing. Like one of my friends, he was like his house was apparently like there was some I don't know was radioactive shit. He had like nose bleeding and stuff, and he had constant brain fog, and like there's your environment, like where do you put yourself in? That's gonna of course change things as well. And then like EMF, like electromagnetic frequencies, if you have like a smart meter next to your wall or like a 5G mast or something, that's gonna like. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, you want to make sure you get some sun every day. Yeah, yeah. Just make sure you get outside in the sun, look into the sun. You're good. Well, don't look directly into the sun, but you get the most vitamin D. It gets produced basically through the eyes. So so yeah. Uh, but yeah, I mean, if you watch all of those things, you're not gonna get sick even, right? Like that's the thing, and like that's of course help you be in a good focus. But if you again you remove your sleep, you fuck up your sleep, then everything's gonna break, right? Or if in any of these things is fucked, you're gonna have some problems. You're gonna get sick, and if you got all of those on point, you're never gonna get sick. Plus, you're gonna be way more focused, and again, garbage in, garbage out, right? Quality in, quality out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's some shit advice. Like, yeah, just yeah, probably by some civilian. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Just look at like how do you learn business? Look at people who know what the fuck they're talking about, or like again, I already gave you this like Sam Ovens, Alex Becker, like the shit that we're gonna go through here, of course, all as well. Alex Homozy. Mm-hmm. You don't even need to. Just ask people the right questions. You're going to be positioned as the expert, right? Just asking them what's your customer lifetime value. Like, again, but that's where you need to understand, why am I asking these questions, right? So it all comes down to just getting the kind of key concepts and then applying things. Like, that's the main thing. That's why I would never hire anybody that like, oh, I got a marketing bachelor's degree. Like, I don't give a shit what products have you marketed, and you know how to run some good retargeting campaigns? Do you know what lookalike audience is or whatever, right? Like, I don't know, like, people are, yeah. No, that's some good entertainment, right? You're not gonna learn business though. Yeah, but no, you learn business to, yeah, no, the only way to learn business is to run a business, right? So like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't hire any marketing or MBAs. Oh yeah, yeah. There's of course, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. But the problem with all of that is like you focus all the time on the like, again, you want to focus first is your mental awareness, right? Then you've got your cognition, then business principles, and then only then you might want to figure out like marketing, sales, delivery, all of these things, and then the step-by-step processes. Like, the thing is, most people only focus on this stuff up here, right? Actually, I just saw that you guys don't see that. But again, if your mental awareness is fucked, if you don't have a way to prioritize things or to solve problem, recognize them, again, none of the stuff that you learn up here, like how you learn marketing and sales, like, it doesn't fucking matter if like all of the rest is fucked, right? So the most important thing is like understanding the foundations, and then from there, I mean, like the step by step, and like some little Instagram hashtag hacks or whatever, like, again, all of that doesn't matter. And again, the principles, or the disciplines up here, like, again, learning the marketing, the positioning, the sales, that's of course all nice and fun, right? But again, you want to make sure you have your principles in place, and mental cognition and awareness, right? Otherwise, it's not gonna matter, because like, people go to university, they learn one of these here, right? They study marketing, and then they learn a couple of step-by-step tools and tactics. Like, maybe they learned how to set up a Facebook ad campaign, but I don't know, have they done it past iOS 14? Do they know any solutions to get the data back to Facebook without the old tracking solutions or whatever, right? Like, those are little things that they might be missing out here. Or again, do they even know how business works, right? The principles behind it, right? That there's like no matter what you look at in business, that it's bit systems, right? That might be a principle, systems thinking, right? And or realizing the 80-20 rule, right? So out of everything you do, probably 20% is going to get you 80% of the results, right? It's not going to be your logo, optimizing your website. It's probably like, what's going to get you those leads in is sending those messages, right? And probably everything apart from that is not really going to even get you those results, right? So understanding those basic principles, like, is far more important than any of the like marketing or sales, or like, how do you actually ask them the right questions, and what's a little hack that you can use at the end of the call to make sure they close, right? That's little processes up here, right? But if you don't have the principles in place, you're going to be fucked. And again, even worse, the mental cognition, right? If you never prioritize things, you're not problem solving, but actually just running around like a headless chicken, and day to day just doing, then one day you're doing this, one day you're doing that, you're not going to get anywhere at all either, right? And then, yeah. Hmm. For example. Yeah. With you, actually, like, because I'm forcing you to do all of this here anyways, and again, I got you to check out the Atomic Habits book, and it's like a slow process to even start to get aware of your, again, change up your belief systems, your self-awareness, identity, right? That's where, like, if you focus on like getting those leads in, but you're not fully sold on the idea yourself that you can even sell or position these 5,000 per month retainers, right? It's not going to matter. You're not going to be able to even close people, right? Because yeah, like, that's like, again, this is literally your again, your programming, or your, like, literally your hardware, actually. Like, again, you got a computer, it's like everything is stuck onto the little green box, right? And then if that's broken, nothing matters. So Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I mean, like that's where, yeah, no, like if you strongly believe it and all of that, like that's the thing. You've got to be sold yourself first, right? So, yeah. So now we're gonna work your way slowly through these layers here. And again, you don't even need to worry about any of this shit anyways, because you're in the beta group. So like literally, like just get on the calls, follow. Like I'll tell you the step by step. Like do this, do that. Like literally, you don't even worry about that. Like we mainly want to focus on these first here, but. Yeah, when it comes to how do I learn this, like find people in each discipline who oh Jesus Christ, I'm on the wrong presentation here. Don't wanna leak everything publicly. So yeah, again, that's where shit, now I lost my train of thoughts here. Well, but yeah, no, that's where of course you wanna not even worry about this stuff here if the rest is broken here, right? And if you want to learn any of these things, then just look at, hey, if like you want to learn different disciplines, like you said, learn about sales, I would find the best sales guy I can find, and that's not going to be Grant Cardone. He's just all talk and no actual content behind it. Maybe you want to check out Jordan Belfort's sales stuff, right? When it comes to marketing, I'm going to find the best guy there, right? Maybe Sam Ovens and Alex Becker. When it comes to offer and positioning, like Alex Hormozy got some really good shit on that, right? When it comes to copywriting, I'm gonna check out Sean Fossler. He's doing the ads for, and again, I'm looking at these people because they're relevant to my market, right? And like I just want to find the best person that I can learn from for each of these disciplines potentially, right? Yeah, for sure, for sure. Because like again, there's not gonna be like one go-to solution for everything, and there's not one person or one thing you can do to learn business. That's why I said like I wouldn't even hire anybody who's got like a business MBA because they don't know shit. They don't have any practical experience. And by getting your skin in the game and actually doing shit, that's how you learn and find people. Like again, the other day I found like here, what's his freaking name? Nick Cos something. Like nobody knows this guy. I just like yeah, but he's like a huge systems guy. Like I don't know, like I love his shit. He's like very analytical, and I only found him. Like I don't even know how I found him. He probably came through Sim Ovens or something. But like I don't know, like all these little people. Like he's got 3,000 followers. Nobody knows this dude. But and I wouldn't recommend him to everybody, right? But if you're like a systems guy like me, and like he's focused on selling sales training, I think to agencies or something. Like again, there's specific things I listen to for him, and then again I spread my net out, and I'll look at what's sticking, what ideas, right? And how like again, person A said something here about this thing, person B said something about this, but then person C said something about both, and I don't know, you get new ideas, and it's like a non-linear process, of course. So yeah, that's where there's like information is way more than enough. So the main thing is going to be watching your focus and attention, right? So it's all more about cutting things out than it about adding new things, right? So for you, actually, like you can just like again cut everything out. You're part of the beta, anyways. I'm gonna hold your hand here. You don't need to worry. But yeah, in the end, it's usually more about removing things, right? How can we remove the distractions? And also like when it comes to business, before I like mud the waters and listen to like 5 people about marketing, I'll look at who's like the best marketer I can find. Like the best YouTube ads guy, right? The best YouTube ads is Alex Becker. The best thinking person is like Sam Ovens. The best offer guy it's Alex Hormozy. Yeah, so potentially. And then even with that, I find the source material, right? With Alex and yeah, also with Sam, for example, like there's so many, like again, there's so much source material out there where pretty much all that like Sam's offer creation stuff, that's all from 0 to 1, the book, and Blue Ocean Strategy, right? So of course I go ahead and check out those books then, right? And then whenever I hear somebody saying something, I of course dig down that rabbit hole and try and find the source material, right? So for each of the disciplines, if you want to learn a new discipline, you want to again find out who's the best person at this specific thing and find their source material, right? So everybody has their source material, right? I just told you some of mine. So yeah. And then you find the best people there and their source if you want to go deeper. Yeah, so again, that's why it's pyramid here as well. Like the most important stuff is the foundation, right? If all of this is like brickling, then again, everything else is gonna crumble. But yeah, don't worry, like this is one of the major concepts we're gonna, in the paid training here, gonna way deeper into this here. That's nothing for the public though, so don't you worry. Cool. But yeah, speaking about that here, I would say we can kind of wrap things up here almost. Share with you some more tools here that you also get access. I mean, you already have it, and anybody that joined. The tools list here. So yeah, I got the, you got the main database. That's, I shouldn't have given you access to that one. It's too many shiny objects. But yeah, this is the main thing that anybody should have here. So let's go back into the training here. Looks like my camera died. So yeah, guys, I'm just gonna fly through this here. I'm gonna share this this worksheet here with you. Actually, I think it's already linked up here, and I'm gonna just share this entire mess with you guys here. Sorry for the way it turned out. Yeah, hopefully it somewhat makes sense though. So that's where we got a bunch of tools here that Varun already mentioned, and anybody that's already in the beta or that worked with me in the past already showed all of these to you, of course. But yeah, just some of the stuff I just really couldn't live without, right? So if I ever have questions to my team or clients, and it would take me more than like a minute to write out a message, or it's maybe like something very visual, you can use Loom. It's literally like a Chrome extension. Click a button, record a quick video. You're gonna get a response way more efficient than like back and forth through text, or especially if it's something visual. Yeah, and then the big one, as I just shared with you guys, like again, garbage in, garbage out, and you want to watch your inputs. And the big one of your inputs when it comes to you as with your human being body here, one of the biggest inputs, Jesus, where we at? The biggest input is sleep. I already showed you I've got like an Aura ring to track my sleep, so everything I'm showing you related to sleep, I'm not just saying it. You wanna test this yourself. And you know the night mode, but this is way more extreme. You want to turn this off, and before you go to bed, just make sure you make sure your body can actually produce some melatonin, right? So otherwise, if the blue light slammed at your screen, at your eyes, your body's gonna think it's daytime, and it's not gonna produce any melatonin, which is your sleep hormone, to get some good recycling sleep. Yeah, then also major focus tool here. I've got this on all day, every day. Probably right after the stream, I'm gonna turn this back on. It's literally pretty much like the limitless pill in music form. It's called Brain FM. So that's going to be another big one. Get you in that zone, eliminate those distraction or noises around you, as well as just again the way that they made their sounds and music. It's literally it's going to help you get in the zone. It's proven to do that, and they got science papers and shit. So that is that. Brain FM. This is the only or one of the only paid tools in here, but it is so much worth its budget. And I don't. None of these are affiliate links here. I'm the worst affiliate marketer ever. I probably got one affiliate deal throughout my entire life because I never set up the links. So yeah, all of this is just my honest opinions and recommendations. Distraction-free YouTube. Again, I'm a big sucker for YouTube, so I want to make sure I don't get sucked into the algorithms there. So if you enable this here, it's literally going to get rid of all the recommended videos, all of the home feed, the subscription feed, and all you see is the video. You can use the search bar, and we know how it is throughout the day. You need to check out YouTube maybe for some quick tutorial because you're getting stuck on some task. But as you know how it is, all of a sudden it's been 30 minutes and you've just been watching some YouTube videos. Same shit for Facebook, right? You want to eradicate the Facebook feed here. That's probably majorly hurting me right now. So like usually I only show this also to people. Again, first thing, there's literally the setup list for any of the one-on-one or group coaching clients here. Literally, I force everybody to set this up here. But again, even if you're still in the group, you haven't signed up yet, of course, you're not going to see my posts anymore. I would highly ask you to maybe pin our group here. We're gonna again trying to give you value, of course, here. But I can guarantee you 99% of your other Facebook newsfeed is pure crap and distractions and just some non-playable characters complaining about, I don't know, some of their programmed thoughts. So that's you don't want that. Yeah, and then off time, that's just blocking stuff on your phone. That's pretty self-explanatory. You heard my big rant before. Just delete that shit off your phone anyways. If you have Instagram on your phone, or by God forbid TikTok, like I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. Like honestly, I'm disappointed, and you should be too. So, so like yeah, it's like if it's free, you are the product. If it's on your phone, they're literally selling your attention away. You don't need that shit on your phone. It's toxic. It's toxic. It steals your time, steals your energy, steals your focus, and sells your data. So yeah, just block all that shit, or better, even delete it. Yeah, and then rescue time. This just tracks everything you do on your desktop. Like every moment of the day gets tracked. Looks like last week or yesterday I was really productive here, but then shows you kind of what have you been doing. Oh, looks like this is uncategorized, and you basically categorize your tasks. And after a week or so, you'll be surprised how much time you actually spent on YouTube, or how much time you actually spent working or not working. Like this is gonna literally show you. And what it does for me is it also blocks off YouTube automatically. So I cannot even open up any distracting pages after a certain period of time has passed. Then there's some free alternatives here. Rescue time, it also tracks the time. These ones right here, they just block the websites. And then you probably all seen this before if you're watching my streams. You're going to open up some new tabs throughout the day. And usually that's another honeypot of dopamine dripping icons right there of your most clicked and watched websites that steal most of your time, energy, and attention and life away. So just subtly ranting here over. But you want to, again, set that up. It's not going to distract you. Have some pretty pictures instead. Momentum. That's just yeah, some nice photos with a quote or whatever. And if you're like me, you suck at waking up. You might want to get Alarmy. This literally forces you to wake up. You're forced to solve math equations or take a QR code, scan a QR code next to your shower. And yeah, there's no more sleeping in anymore. Which, another big thing, by the way, if you press that snooze button, you just fucked yourself. Your brain is going to go back into sleep mode. And for another full 90 minutes, it's going to basically cycle back into the sleep mode. Like that's me like not using scientifically accurate words right here, but why we sleep. If you want to quote me on that, then just check out Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. He's some PhD researching sleep, and yeah, that's just a fact. Pressing snooze is not a very good idea. So if you already woke up, you better wake up fully. So there's that. I'm not going to rant too much on that, but be my guest and just destroy your morning, destroy your day, destroy your productivity, and destroy your life. And press snooze if you want. If not, then get the app. So sorry if I'm sounding a little bit aggressive here today, but like, I don't know, I'm getting fed up with most people and how they're living. Because it's like I keep giving people advice, but it doesn't matter anyways, because they're like, again, like zombies pretty much. So not taking any self-control. So yeah, if you're saving too many tabs, maybe that's another one. I added this one here for Varun, I think. Or I had some other clients who always had the tab issue. And that's another thing that's going to get distracted. Like all of this here, like Jesus Christ. That's only what this looks like because I'm in a live stream right now opening all that stuff up for you, right? But you're not going to get work done if you're trying to find these tabs or whatever. And second of all, that's going to, of course, if you don't have like a, I don't know, 128 gigabytes of RAM like me, then of course it's going to use some of that as well. But these are some of the major tools that just installing those alone, of course, that's just a band-aid, right? If you don't get any of the concepts I talked about today here, especially in the last half an hour, none of this is going to work for you, right? So if you don't have like goals that you set, if you don't, if you're putting shit into your body, you don't have any good sleep or whatever, like this is all just band-aids. Like it's literally like, I don't know, like like your whole arm is cut off and you put in like a little 2 centimeter plaster, and that's very small. Good. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's affirmations. Like that's a different thing. Like that stuff also works, but like just that's not an affirmation. That's pointless. So yeah, it's just I love it. So that's why also with the niche we want to find something you love, right? So yeah. No, I got some serious ADHD, man. So yeah, yeah. If I look at ADHD symptoms, like I got all of them. So like being unable to sit still, especially in the calm and quiet surroundings, that's me. Constantly fidgeting, that's me. Being unable to concentrate on tasks, that's me. Excessive physical movement, that's me. Excessive talking, that's me. So yeah, like a lot of us have ADHD, and I don't want to get into the reasons. I'm gonna do that in private calls. Uh, yeah, yeah, and there's definitely like as some of you guys already know, like yeah, no, I'm not gonna mention that in this call here, but yeah, that when it comes to those types of stuff, like there's a reason for everything, there's a cause for everything. It's always inputs, process, output, and yeah, something like ADHD, it's not under your control, so you probably got some inputs that you shouldn't have gotten. On that in a private call, and then of course that's where you need to work with that then, right? That's why I have a lot of these systems. Like if I didn't have it, like yeah, and then you're also your personality type, right? So Myers, Bricks. Oh yeah, have I asked you to do this test yet? If not, you want to do this here, and that's where you want to just then look at. So I'm INFJ. Yeah, you're probably something like something with I'm not sure actually. But yeah, this is again what's going to then help you also find out, hey, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what are your strengths and weaknesses, right? So like my strength, like creative, insightful, principled, passionate, altruistic, like I want to help other people and all that, right? Even says that here in the introduction. And I want to again build my life around how I want it to be, right? So with me and my personality type, it's like, hey, nothing lights up advocates like creating a solution that changes people's lives, right? So I love kind of building out new systems and things that help other people, and that's again why I love doing what I do. I love video, I love marketing, I love sharing my knowledge. That's proof to that. It's my YouTube channel with like 13 years old me, German accent and voice cracks, teaching people After Effects. I always love sharing what I know there. And then again, you want to work with your strength, but also, of course, look at your weaknesses, right? So yeah, perfectionistic, avoiding the ordinary, prone to burnout, right? And then I need to figure out systems or ways that I can again play to my strengths and my weaknesses and find something that kind of works for me, because everybody's different, right? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and in the end, it's all like people want to get away from their pains. They want to get towards their desires. So you want to find out, hey, what are those pains that trigger you? What is your desires as well? Yeah, and also for yourself. So if you can't find the motivations, probably you don't have a big desire. You know really what your desire is. So like, well, why are you even doing what you're doing? So yeah, I have a deep hate for the systems we have, like the school system, the health system, and all of that shit. So like I see and know for a fact that with everything I'm doing here, again, maybe I made a couple of people think here about their food today even, and especially even like the business stuff, like all of this helps people. And again, that's why I love kind of, that's why I do what I do, right? But you gotta find that for yourself, of course. And you can't force yourself to be interested in something you're not interested in, right? So that's where, of course, like what comes natural to you comes natural to you. And yeah, the more we can kind of align that, the better, especially with the niche there. So yeah, just combining video with some of the niches that you're passionate about, that's a big thing. And then some very basic marketing stuff, right? And yeah, you don't need to become like an expert at like, I don't know, business in general, right? There's so many principles in there. Yeah, it's not possible. So yeah, that's where, yeah, something you like doing. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, that already sounds boring, dude. Yeah, if it's not interesting to you, you're not gonna learn shit. Yeah, if you like, yeah, you want to read it, right? So like I don't know, so like 48 Laws of Power, for example. Like this is the books from Robert Greene, for example, right? Like I love listening to them. Like it's literally like I enjoy it. I love going on a walk and listening to these books, and yeah, and then of course, you're not gonna. Yeah, no, whatever interests you and what works. Yeah. Yeah, and then another book like I don't know, probably like I couldn't like even pay my girlfriend to read this or to listen to this here, but to me that's just like interesting, like thinking fast and slow, like how people think and shit. And this was like another, yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's pretty much the same concept. That's like the main concept from this book here, right? But they're going like a little bit deeper, and then there's like some studies there. And look at that. This is the starter kit here. Like literally, like Atomic Habits is the book I give you guys to listen to first. I just showed you guys why we sleep, and then we got this one here, right? So like I don't know. Typically, people are interested in all those things, then I guess, right? But but yeah, that's cool. Frequently bought together. Oh yeah, that's what the hell? What the hell? I don't know how that landed there. Oh, I looked at some. I looked. Oh yeah, Psychology of the Masses. I looked at like some propaganda books. So that now it's showing me like propaganda books. Yeah, I wanted to get. Yeah, I wanted to get like Edward Bernays. Edward Bernays, like he's one of the OG propaganda people. Because of him, people eat like think that breakfast is the healthiest thing of the like that's propaganda from the cereal and milk companies, right? Yeah, now everybody is like, oh, you gotta eat healthy breakfast. It's so important. It's just like literally fucking propaganda. And same thing for like he got people to women to start smoking cigarettes and shit. Like that's of course a little bit now we're getting on the edge of what's ethical and not ethical, of course, right? But in the end, that's all psychology. And like to me, like all of this here is psychology, right? And like that's what I like to understand. Like how does the world work? How can I help other people navigate this year? And then of course on a more down to earth level, I'm helping filmmakers with their stuff because I have a huge passion for video and for content marketing, of course, right? But yeah, so of course everybody's different. So you want to find your thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Why would people want solar? Like I'm looking for solar. The reason I'm wanting to buy it is yeah, yeah. That's I was just gonna say. Like, I don't give a shit about the environment. Like, I do, but I know that me alone is not gonna make any difference. No, I just want to be independent from the grid. I don't want to. So that's the thing. There's different buyer personas, right? They need different types of content because they have different types of problems that they want to solve. And if you want to help a solar company with their market, oh, that was a dead battery right there. Wow. If you want to help solar companies with their marketing, then of course a big part of that is finding out, okay, who is their target audience? What problems do they have? And how can we craft a message to get that in front of these people? And what platform is going to be best to post that content on? Right? So for me, you're not going to find me on TikTok. You're not going to find me on Instagram ads, right? Not even YouTube because I've got an ad blocker. Right? I don't even know how you would reach me, to be honest. So, but that's like different personas on different platforms, right? The climate activists need a different message. You good? Mm-hmm. No, he's doing the fucking work. He's eliminating the distractions. Yeah. No, he's spending all day, yeah, all day, every day on one thing, getting that shit done, right? No distractions and focus and sacrifice. Like that's another big thing, right? Like I don't really have many friends. I don't go partying, and like again, like those guys, they're not gonna go partying. They're not gonna like be out just drinking coffee every. Yeah, but you don't. yeah, whatever you want to do, like the thing is like you can't make it about the money, right? I mainly like I love just helping people. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, right? So yeah, you want to find that deeper motivation there, and then once you have that and you're aligned with the vision, then yeah, actually I'm just gonna open that up here. It's gonna be a little bit too much, and I didn't want to really share this in any live streams here, but because most people aren't gonna get this here. But like in the end, as long as when you have like that long-term vision and goal, again, as I showed you, you are the process, and whatever you put into your system, that's gonna change the processes and the output, and it's all a system. And like again, this is way too much for now just briefly showing, but again, the idea is that when you have that laser vision on your long-term goal, and everything that you do in your life, the inputs that you take, right, which is the information that you watch, the books that you read, right, and yeah, and as long as everything is like, again, that's how you get results, right? You're focusing your emotions, actions, and thoughts in turning those inputs through some process into outputs, and like looking at that feedback and continuously optimizing, cutting out other things, right? Like I didn't, like, it didn't start with maybe like one day to the other I deleted Instagram and all these apps off my phone, right? That's a gradual process, and over time, I clean up my inputs, listen to some better people, watch my food, watch my sleep, and again, optimize my inputs in total alignment with my long-term vision, which is, again, helping creatives break free from the system here, and really people as well. And again, I've got that long-term vision there, and everything I'm doing is optimized around that. I'm looking at my environment, I'm looking at my inputs, and again, anything I'm doing is focusing that energy here into results, right? And then even if that's not what I want what the stuff that again, maybe my plan was like, hey, I already want to be at like 150K per month in revenue, or like even, okay, that's crazy numbers for most film people, like maybe like I want to be at like 10K per month in revenue. But if you're not there, then again, that doesn't matter. That is just fucking feedback, right? You're looking at the feedback, changing up your inputs, and again, continuously optimize and have that vision on your long-term goal. And of course, if that changes, right, if you like have a different goal every 3 months, you're not going to get anywhere, right? So that's how these people got to where they are. They have laser fucking vision and that long-term goal. They optimize their inputs, focus everything they have on processing those into the outputs that they want. And if not, then looking at that feedback and optimizing things further. So like pretty much this diagram explained it. Yeah, but not how some people look at it, right? Like, it's not like you sit about, yeah, it's not like you sit there and you're like, oh, I want this, I want that. Like, that's part of it, right? That visualization is part of it, right? That's what this is here, right? We have that long vision there. I know, like, hey, I want to live on some big ass farm with some, like, again, I know exactly what that's going to look like. I'm visualizing that, right? But then again, if I'm not taking action here, and like that, again, just that strong vision is now going to help me build my inputs, right? Again, like, because I'm interested in that and I want to get there. Now, all of a sudden, I'm watching videos on how do you get completely off-grid with solar and or whatever that may be, right? So that changes my inputs, it changes my processes, but it's all in alignment with that long-term vision. If that makes sense, right? So yeah, like this is the law of attraction pretty much, right? Like it's like you again, you have your thoughts, your inputs, those are not just your thoughts, right? And then of course, if you, again, most people in this like law of attraction community, and like that's how it gets like real wah and blah blah, they like they cut out the processes, like they're not doing shit, they're sitting down and just like visualizing things. So that's their process. But of course, that's where you need to do the hard fucking work as well, right? You need to, again, sacrifice, right? Do those work that you don't necessarily want to be doing. And again, you can't just visualize some fucking like Lamborghini to still like crazy car to manifest, if that what gets you off. Like that's not what gets me off, right? But if I visualize that I want to live I don't know, in nature or whatever, right, it's going to take some action to get there, right? So those are the processes, and then the output is like, hey, are we getting closer, are we not getting closer? And that's the feedback, right? So again, the law of attraction, like that actually is pretty much just setting your attention, right? That's this part right here, having that laser clear vision and visualizing that. But if you only visualize things and you never do shit, or you don't look at the feedback, then yeah, that's not gonna work. But like in the end, like it's no bullshit, right? Like everything you see around you, like it has been manifested by first being in some form of thought form, and the human being did something and it manifested in reality. Like that's not bullshit, right? It starts with our thoughts and their emotions and actions that then We do things, and that manifests things in the reality. Like, again, like out there, you see like natural elements, anything that is not a natural element, like a tree or a mountain or whatever, like it has all been created and manifested first by being a thought in somebody's mind, right? Somebody, like, we don't just have like light bulbs, right? Before somebody built a light bulb, he failed 10,000 times, Edison or whoever that was, right? So he manifested that by like first thinking about it and continuously going and going and going and going and going, and having that long-term vision of like, I'm gonna fucking get there no matter how many times I failed. I found out 10,000 ways it doesn't work. That doesn't mean it's not gonna work. Or like, he has that quote, you guys might know it. I completely fucked that up, right? But again, that's just that strong thoughts with strong focus on what he wants. And again, watching his inputs, he probably read a bunch on like how electricity works. Well, maybe that wasn't a thing back then, right? But again, watching your inputs, which is all the way from the food that you eat to the information that you take in, and sacrifice of, again, Edison probably didn't spend time partying, right? Well, they didn't really have lights to party just yet, right? So like, he was manifesting that big ass party where now they finally have that light. Oh, well, that's not the thing, right? But again, that's the law of attraction in my eyes, right? Well, it's not bullshit, and there's no believing or not believing. I call it natural law, because that's how the fucking universe works, or the world we live in. And that's pretty much this diagram. But yeah, that's again why I said like it's a bit too much for today. Yeah, like again in the paid training we go through some more foundation shit. Yeah, that's why next week what you see right here is from the paid training here. That's the first thing that's gonna get live next Monday, so can look forward to that. But yeah, that's pretty much law of attraction, right? If you want to call it that. Cool. But yeah, that was a bit too much probably for most here, but again, as long as you've got the foundations in place here. Cool. But yeah, let me do one final battery switch here. I think I already did that. Let me put that on. There we go. Yes, been a while here, so we've been streaming for, I don't know, I think we started at 7 here, 7 my time, so it's been 3 hours now. I think a good time. Yeah, like for now, like I just couldn't. I never switched out the automations in time to remind people for the Tuesday one, because like that's what most people voted on for Tuesdays. So yeah, it's either Tuesdays or Fridays. Next week we might do Tuesday and Friday. It's a different room basically. Like we renovated this room here, and yeah, figured it looks cool, so I'm streaming from here. Yeah. It's my other workroom. I've got my white screen on here, and yeah, that was a little bit problematic, but it's working now for the stream. Cool. Yeah, let me know then. Jeremy, you're still rocking on as well. Then I would say, let me know, guys. Any final questions from you? Anybody that might still be watching the stream? It says we have 2 active viewers. I don't know what that means. Might be just you guys. Yeah, I think I'm shooting myself in the foot with the restreaming thing. We're live streaming on YouTube as well, and on Facebook and that, but it said like powered by Restream, and I think Facebook doesn't like it. Like the last times we had more organic reach. Oh well. Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna drop the thing in the chat now, the diagram here. And you let me know if you got any final questions. Sure thing. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, that's all the little step one, step two, like all the nitty gritty, like well, you don't need to worry about because we'll do that together. First of all, and second of all, like you don't necessarily need to be the one doing everything, right? That's where, like, if you're not a technical person like me, like you can throw me into any user interface, no matter what it is. Like I intuitively, for some reason, understand it. Whereas there's other people, like, I don't know, I show them 3 times where to click and I still don't get it. So that's where, I don't know, if you're not intuitive to tech, there's a lot of things where you're gonna for sure get lost on, and that's where yeah, that's where you don't need to like worry too much about it. There's gonna be some other guy from, like, again, India or Philippines who does that all day every day, and they're an expert at it. So as long as you have the high level, you know, the high level of what happens, right? You know, on Facebook we are running ads to cold audiences, which are different types of interests that we are targeting, and we are split testing the interests versus the variations, and you understand the high level of how it works. You don't need to know where and how to click it if you have somebody who can do it, right? So yeah, and that's where, like, even with that, I'm gonna share with you, of course, all the step-by-step workflows. We got all that anyways. So we'll map things out, and pretty much 95% of setting up a Facebook ad campaign happens outside of Facebook. And then when it comes to the clicking, that's literally you just follow the worksheet that I built for you, or the training. And that's the process then. But the high level is like understanding why is it that we're doing this, like what is the end, what are we trying to market, and even with your clients then mapping out, okay, who's that target audience, what are problems they have, so we can create some banger message, and all of that shit is way more important than, like, okay, you gotta optimize the conversion day, so the conversion campaign with a 7-day click and 1-day view, and not the 1-day click, and like, what the fuck, like that's not gonna change the results of the campaign. That's not gonna be the difference between a profitable Facebook ad and not, right? The difference is gonna be, do we have a good message, and are we targeting the right people, roughly? And even the targeting doesn't fucking matter. You can target the entire United States if your copy and your creative really is striking enough in a specific market. Even the targeting doesn't fucking matter. Like, none of that shit matters at all if you get the high level concepts and what happens and what needs to happen, which is in the end showing how the product can help people get away from their pains and get towards their desires. And that requires some good copywriting and good video, and, like, again, just striking message, right? That's we can sum it up with messaging, whether that is in text form in copy or in video form in a video. It's some form of messaging or stimulus that's going to strike that nerve, hopefully, and get somebody to take action on something. And as long as you understand how that high level process works, and again, what we're doing on a high level when it comes to running ads, which is, again, targeting these audiences and the testing, just knowing that alone is like everything. Like, you don't need to know where to click and what to do, really. So, like, that's stuff you can always learn. You go on YouTube, like, how to set up a lead gen campaign. Like, I don't know, like, on Google. Like, you get, like, when it comes to principles and, like, all of that, there's always, like, it's one Google search away. But, like, again, looking at the pyramid, the more important thing is, of course, understanding the higher level principles first before you look at, okay, like, what's the best lookalike audiences? Are we gonna do a 14-day checkout, or are we gonna do a 30-day add to cart retargeting? Like, it doesn't matter. Let's test both. So, yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Probably the last question, anyways. No, go ahead. Like, it's probably the little, again, if nobody else has the question, we're gonna end now. So, let me know. Yeah, if you understand the high level concept, right? If you know, okay, what are we trying to do here? It's like, it's a solar company, so what are we gonna do, right? Like, it's the exact same situation as you hiring the other guy. Like, they're only, like, if you don't know exactly, you don't need to tell them exactly where to click. But if you don't know, okay, what is the product? How can we come up with some good messaging for this product based off the problems, right? Going back to the solar example, if you're helping a solar company now, again, there's people like me who mainly do it because they want to get off grid. They don't want to rely on any government systems, right? Then there's other people who do it because they want to save the environment, right? Other people who do it because they want to just save money, right? So those are things to, again, now I'm telling you this, but you should be the one who is realizing this based off just looking at the market and doing some research. And that is the more important thing than, like, where do we fucking click in the ads to set things up. The more important thing is, like, hey, for this product, again, I'm gonna sorry, but I'm gonna open the success chain. For this product, what is the freaking target audience? What is the problem they have? How can we create a message that's going to strike a nerve here? And how are we going to get that message in front of them? Like, those are the high level, again, principles. And you need to understand those. As long as you understand, okay, this is what we're doing, and this is why we're doing it. The actual how and click by click, you don't need to worry about that, right? Because you're gonna literally just give the client and the ad manager, whoever does that, you can tell them like, hey, here's the copy that we're using, here's the creative that you're using, and we want to target these audiences, and then they can do all the setup, right? But you need to know like, hey, who are the audiences, right, or the targets? What are the problems they have? So you can even just create some. Like, your ads are not gonna do shit if you don't know the problems that they're solving, right? But why would somebody even buy this product? Like, what's gonna motivate them to click? How do we get them to call the solar company, whatever the objective is? And that, again, like, understanding these principles. So you need to know, again, who's that target, what problem do they have, and build out the messaging. And those, again, that is so much more important. It doesn't matter where the fuck to click. That makes sense? Because like there's people who know exactly where to click, but they don't do this research, and all the ads are gonna break and not work. Like, they've done the perfect clicking, they've done the perfect campaign structure and setup, but yeah, if the copy doesn't strike a nerve and the video doesn't get people to even stop scrolling, that's because we obviously haven't done our target research here, and we haven't followed the process, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, again, all the step by step. Again, you're part of the beta group anyway, so you don't need to worry. And we'll go through the high level and the small level, right? But the more important thing is you get the high level. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that's where you don't need to worry. Like, as long as if you're good at the high level shit, then again, there's people who are like very technical. They know where and what to click and how to set up and link these things. And then yeah, they might suck at the high level or they don't like it, right? And you want to find somebody who knows the perfect. Like, typically, if you want to find somebody with ad management, you should also be a good copywriter and understand the high level stuff, right? But when it comes to running ads, like, let me just show you here. I just gotta come there. Good to see you're still alive and kicking, Rob. Oh yeah. Good to you. Who are you? It's just M, it says. Probably somebody from the Call of Duty days back in the day here. Wait, ad campaign. Oh, shit, what did I call it? 2021. Yeah. Yeah, somewhat like that, right? You need to, yeah, looking at the market, looking looking again from the eyes of for your customer, like, who's their target audience, what's going on in their lives, what might be problems that even would motivate them to buy this product, and again, what's going on in the market as a whole, right? It's like when I'm looking at things like supply chain shortages, potentially that might be something that is like very relevant right now, but it's not. Yeah, and that's like, if depending on the scenario, you might want to look at that, but depending on who you're working with, you might not even have to worry about. If you're working with some online education course consultant person, like, they don't need to worry about the supply chain stuff. But if you're selling, let's say, selling the truck scale example, that might be a little bit more relevant, and you might need to keep your head on the swivel there. So yeah, but that's gonna depend on, again, who is your target and your niche. So again, with a niche example here. But yeah, that's the most important. Like, again, most of Facebook ads happens outside of Facebook, right? I map out. Okay, well, let me just show you. Like, this was my campaign. How most of us got to meet here. Most of the people in the group came through my ad campaign I launched last year, which is where I'm targeting just different interests, right? I brainstorm them, get them before we run the campaigns. Brainstorm different ad angles, different headlines, different copy that I can use for the actual text. Right, and then this is probably what most of you came through. You can't do this alone. What's more, no one expects you to. Starting successful, blah blah. That's one of the variations I was testing. Then another one was right here. And then I take that and test that with different images. And as you see, like we haven't even touched Facebook yet. Literally, when we're coming to the Facebook ad section, we are like copy and pasting things into the dashboard, and you're just like checking the boxes I tell you to check, depending on what type of campaign it is. So like 99% of the work happens outside of Facebook, just so you see what that could look like. So you don't need to worry about like, where do I click to add this like headline now, and like, oh no, like that shit doesn't matter. Like what's most important is, do these words strike a nerve? Would this get a filmmaker to stop scrolling together with these video images here? And that's where, of course, based off my ads now, I know like, hey, I'm only going to use gear photos. Nobody cares about my dog. It's just a test I was running, right? So again, yeah, and of course you get all this shit anyway. So you're in the beta, so you don't need to have any FOMO. But yeah, anybody else that is interested in this, again, sign up here, pushreg.com/beta. And again, that's where like the high down level clicking, step-by-step stuff like that shit doesn't matter anyways. You need to have your high level thinking in place, have your niche in place, follow this process, and then it's just like step by step. Because in the end, it's always this. It's like, even with ads, like that's just messaging and outreach system. That's the ad platform, right? How do we get that message in front of the people? And that's a little thing down here where you don't need to worry, right? If you get the high level concept and you know, okay, how can I identify pain points of a market and desires, and how can we then take that and craft a message that's going to strike a nerve to get these people to act on what we want them to do, then that's it, right? So that's the high level stuff. Cool. All right. Yeah, that was a long train and going all over the place here, but yeah, definitely worth a rewatch for some. So yeah, I just exported this here as a PDF as well. Gonna get that to you guys. I'm gonna add that both to the bootcamp section. So yeah, if you haven't, again, anybody watching and who doesn't have access there, sign up here. You should get an email. I'm gonna add the training here, and that's gonna also have the PDF thingy here. And we have some other bonus. Yeah, I think last week I shared with you guys the yeah, we already have some productivity tools. Looks like I talked about that in the past. We also had the content distribution strategy thingy there. Got the worksheet here. Yeah, Varun, you don't need to worry. We got all of that. I'm just, for people watching the replay here, that's where you guys can find the worksheets. Cool. But yeah, that was a lot. So let me know any final questions. Gotta get the bright website up here. There we go. Any final questions? Looks like Jeremy just left, so it's just probably me and Judith. In that case, I would say we'll keep that for our next call then. And gonna go. Yeah, I just got a water filter. I'm gonna set that up now. That's what gets me excited. I don't know. I don't know. I love film stuff. I love marketing stuff. I love, I don't know, health stuff. So. Yeah, that's where it's just, I hate sports, so all I do is ride the bike. Yeah, with some Audible. Yeah, I don't really like, I've got a scoliosis, like I don't know if that's the right, it's like my yeah, my back is twisted a bit, and apparently I'm not allowed to go running, and weightlifting not either, so yeah. Oh no, I can't, like I'm actually glad about it, so but yeah, no, that's where I definitely gotta get my movement, otherwise like you can't hear it right now, but sometimes like, I don't know, on my back, I'm gonna get problems eventually, so yeah. But I don't have a favorite sports, unfortunately. Yeah, I used to go to the gym and that's how I fucked my brain, and now I'm not doing anything. And my back, not my brain. Yeah, the scoliosis I got. Yeah, I was 16 when I started there, and that's where I did stuff wrong, and then that's probably how I got the scoliosis. So yeah, it sucks, but oh well, there's worse things. Yeah, no, Yeah, the main thing for me is just again the health and focus. I don't care about the muscles, so yeah, some good cardio movement, like all body stuff is usually good stuff to start with. But yeah, I got a girlfriend already anyway, so I don't need to care unless I'm growing my hair as well, I guess. I'm gonna look like Jesus soon. Yeah, I just keeping it growing and growing and growing. Yeah, ever since they said you can only get like they said you can only get to the barber, get a haircut with a test, and I'm not doing that. So yeah, I don't care, and I always wanted to. I used to have long hair. Well, I always had long hair. Had it this long before in the past, but now I'm just letting it grow, see what happens. Because I'm probably gonna lose it at some point. My dad, he doesn't have any hair, and his dad didn't has any hair after 30 years. So I'm 25 now, so 26 in 2 months. So gonna have 4 more years with hair. So I'm gonna enjoy it. If that is true, though, like maybe that was just them manifesting things through their thoughts, right? So I'm gonna. Yeah, let's see. We'll see. We'll touch base in a couple years. Yeah. Yeah, that's not gonna worry about the sales here. Yeah, I mean we got a call scheduled anyway, so you can let me on Slack if there's anything else. Yeah, I'm gonna assemble my water filter so I can finally stop drinking plastic water, and I'll let you know about that tomorrow. Cool. All right, yeah, that was chill stream here today. The replay probably gonna take a while to process with that length. Should be on within like the next 24 hours, along with the screenshot of what we talked about today here. And yeah, you got everything anyways in terms of worksheet, so that's mainly for the replay people. But I doubt anybody's gonna watch the full replay. They will be out of their mind. All right, in that case, yeah, let me know on Slack if there's anything. Anybody else that is still for some reason watching this, if you have not signed up, I don't know what is wrong with you. Sign up. Let me get the thing. Sign up. Pushrec.com/beta. Gonna get all of this. Gonna get some other crazy shit, and yeah, just sign up. Yeah, just do it. Cool. Take care, guys. Then Varun will speak. I think tomorrow, right? And everybody else, we might do 2 streams next week because it's the final launch week. But I'll post some updates about that if I'm not shadow banned. Cool. All right, take care then. Varun will speak on Slack, and everybody else have a good night as well.